Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Got me?
Yep.
Okay. As I said 2 weeks ago, the season is getting late very quickly. Counting this weekend series against Evansville, the Bulls have only 23 games remaining in this season. And since the Bulls find themselves tied for 7th place with Knoxville, every game, every point now seems to be exponential in terms of importance. It's just time to make the move and try and secure a spot in the top 8 and reserve your playoff spot. And as with last year as an example, all you need to do is be there when the DJ starts playing the music, as Evansville showed, winning the President's Championship Trophy, the league's best team, from 7th place in the regular season. The team they beat in the finals, Knoxville, finished in 6th and took the Bulls out in the second round as well. So you just need to be there. All you need to do is be there when that second season starts in April. In those short 3-game series, a hot goaltender and a few timely goals can go a long way in deciding who's the champion and who's not. But before that happens, you need to string some wins together, and that is what the Bulls are on the precipice of doing. Birmingham has won 3 consecutive games and 4 of the last 5 games. They have also defeated tonight's opponent, Evansville, twice during the 5-game stretch. As we close out the month of January, it's now time to reach down deep, see what you have left, and bring it out. A winning streak or a losing streak now can mean the difference in making the playoffs or getting ready to watch the Masters in April. And for myself, I would rather be in a cold building with a sheet of ice on it than in front of my TV watching men play golf. Birmingham still is without the services of 5 players who were called up to the ECHL and an extra one today in Doug Scott. After the ECHL player strike, players became a commodity, so to speak, and almost every team in the SPHL has suffered because of it. The only one who I haven't really seen their roster decimated is Huntsville. Either way, Craig Simchuk seems to be holding it together roster-wise, but the work of a director of hockey operations is never done, especially in these times. Hello again, everyone. Jody Chernesky here alongside Greg Drevany once again for the Pelham Civic Complex tonight for tonight's game. Greg, Birmingham has taken care of Evansville lately, but those games were on the road in southern Indiana. Birmingham plays a little differently on the road at home. Birmingham haven't beaten the Thunderbolts at home in over a year. We have no more room for error, though, with the season winding down. The players have to realize that it's now or never. Am I wrong or am I right?
Definitely got to agree with that, Jody. And, you know, Birmingham is the only team in the league with a winning road record. They're 9-8-1-1, and a sub-500 home record at 5-8-0-3. So, as of late, we've been having a little bit better luck, but we'll see what the Bulls bring tonight with Evansville. It's always fun when they come to town. And, you know, a couple former Bulls in the lineup. You know, we got Matt Hobbs and Jonathan Clark on D.
Matt Clark.
Yeah. Jonathan Clark. Anyways, yeah, so
a lot of familiarity here.
A lot of familiarity, and in the last showdown in Evansville, Jody, I know the fans down there got a big treat when Stead and Hayden Stewart squared off at center ice. That was always something. It's, you know, everybody that saw that on Instagram and everything, they were all commenting on. They were like, yeah, it looked like 2 rhinoceroses. I said, oh, yeah. I said, that's that extra goalie gear.
Yeah, and it's all sweaty and heavy on top. It's kind of hard to throw punches when you're wearing 100 pounds of extra gear. And Tommy Pecoraro, their announcer in Evansville, texted me during that game and asked me if I can remember any time Birmingham's had a goalie-on-goalie fight, and I had to be honest with him at that time. The last one I remember was in the WHA until you corrected me and said you, in the coast with the Bulls, fought against Chucky Thuss when he was with Mobile. We'll pause real quick for the playing of our national anthem, then we'll get back to that in just a second.
Thank you very much to Harrison Hornsby and the Springville Choir. Big thanks to tonight's Junior Bulls. They'll be back in a bit. Dean Edwards, Asa Perry, TJ.
The playing of the national anthem was a choir.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention. Dropper is on his way out here momentarily.
And I don't know exactly what's wrong.
There we go.
Maybe that's got it right there. Okay, I apologize. I do want to take this time to stop a minute and welcome in our Evansville fans that are listening. I wish it was under different circumstances. Tommy, as I mentioned a little earlier, a really good friend and colleague here, both Greg and mine, as far as hockey goes. Really good guy. He sadly lost his father this past week, and in typical Tommy style, he's spending time with his mom, trying to make sure she's okay. This is, from what I understand, one of the first, if not the only game Tommy has ever missed in his career. And, yeah, you know, I lost my parents, both of them, and I know you lost your mom as well recently. It's nothing you can say about it, except, Tommy, we're thinking about you. We're praying for you. We know you'll be back. Tommy had called me earlier this week and said that he was going to try and make both these games because his dad would want him to. But nonetheless, Tommy, you're in our thoughts. Starting lineups tonight, first for Evansville, Joey Burkapak and Max Thiessen on defense. Up front, they'll go with Keenan Stewart, Matt Hobbs, and Jordan Semino. For the Birmingham Bulls, Jordan Gagnon and Cole Youngworth on defense. Up front, McGregor Sinclair, Matt Wood, and Kip Ledzianko in goal. For Birmingham, Hayden Stewart, Christian Stead for Evansville, and we are underway here at the Pelham Civic Complex as the puck is chipped out to center ice, played in the Evansville zone. Centering pass off the wire, messed up, picked up by Burkapak. He'll slide it far side, Semino has it. Poke checked away by Youngworth, but he manages to get it in deep. Played near side by Gagnon. Stewart keeps it alive, taken away from him by Sinclair, and he'll bank one off the boards into center ice. Just underway, no score here between Birmingham and Evansville. Thunderbolts bring the puck in the Bull zone. Tied up along the far boards, Hobbs tries to dig it free. It's loose, picked up by Matt. He's pressured there, far side by Walker. Loose puck comes to McGregor Sinclair, and he just tips it back out to center ice. Former Bull Matt Clark, we'll talk about him in a moment, sends it into the Bull zone, taken away by Walker. He avoids a check, gets it through center ice for Drake Glover. Glover wraps one around the boards, bad hop off the boards, hit the side of the net, played far wall. Scotty Curtin tied his man up, and Evans will take control. Vanderveen with the puck. Tried to fire it in the Bull zone, it bounces off the stick. Curtin had it, lost it, now behind the net, played by Evansville. Gilmore had it, lost it. It's sent around the near side where Glover has it. His pass knocked down by Curtin. Birmingham with possession in their own zone. Scahill misses everyone through center ice. Tipped up by Pizzametti. He gets the shot off, save made by Stead. Rebound picked up by Clark. He'll skate away. Matt Clark through center ice. Dumps one into the near corner. Played behind the net. Sadowski is there. He loses it. Bartuccio Pereira on newcomer for the Bulls, chips it out into center ice, back into Evansville zone, and it's touched up there by the Thunderbolts, so a faceoff comes back into the Birmingham zone. Jonathan Bartuccio Pereira, much-traveled hockey player, defenseman, picked up by Birmingham off of a trade for future considerations this week, trying to shore up the Bulls' defense a little bit.
Well, definitely with so many call-ups, Jody, it's one of those things. They had a big hole to fill back there, and we'll see what Bartuccio Pereira can bring to the equation tonight for the Bulls.
If nothing else, it's an opportunity to show what he can do. You're always looking to improve, and everyone on that Bulls team needs to be aware of that nobody's job is safe when you're looking for a playoff spot. Puck loose in the Bull zone, played by McPhee. That pass centers all the way through the slot along the far boards, tipped into the netting and out of play, so we'll do it again. You know, you played this game, Greg. I'll ask you, anytime a new player comes to town and the position that he's a part of is part of your group, does it fire you up a little bit or make you a little bit nervous? What exactly does that do to the mentality of a hockey player?
Well, I think for everybody that is sitting in the core of the foundation of the Bulls, Jody, it's always good because you see guys leaving that kind of worries you a little bit, but it settles you down when you see another guy with a lot of games under his belt coming in to help you out.
It doesn't threaten you to know one of the newcomers into town is a player in your position?
Well, not if you're the core guys.
Off the draw, Birmingham sends it into the Evansville zone, played around far boards by Thiessen. Karan keeps it alive, now behind the goal line. Another bad hop off the boards played by Berkepak. He loses it. Try to center one up for Britton. His centering pass, no one there but a Thunderbolt, and back we come the other way. Miller with the puck. Gains that center ice stripe, dumps it in for a line change for Evansville. Birmingham Sadowski now. He'll take it, bank one off the boards. Trying to head it up for Karan, knocked down by Evansville, and here comes Semino. Couldn't get around Sadowski, but he picks the loose puck up himself. Sinclair takes it away from him, and Birmingham will clear. Wood taken down right in front of the Bulls bench by Vanderveen. Now Clark sends one around far side, played by Hobbs. Now Vanderveen sends one right in on Stewart. Stick save made by Hayden. Birmingham clears it off the stick of Sinclair. We had a chance for a 2-on-1. Matt Clark plays that puck. Far side, Kipledzianko intercepts, keeps it alive. Youngworth, here's a shot, goes wide behind the net. Wrap around Wood. His pass or shot, if you will, all the way through the blue paint. Back comes Scotty Curtin the other way. He'll dump it into the Bull zone. Gagnon catches up with it first. Sends it around the far side, played by Soreski, who's in his first game in 2 months. Parker Soreski off of the IR, activated by Birmingham today. Now Glover takes the puck, intercepts it. McPhee catches that and drops it. He'll play it himself. McPhee with the puck. Tried to get that center ice stripe. C.J. Walker gets in between that, and Birmingham finds the loose puck. Scahill sends it into the Evansville zone. Behind the back pass by Stead for McPhee. Puck picked up by Chapman. Ahead for Curtin, takes a hit, gets it into the Bull zone, but Bartuccio Pereira sends it right back out. Pizzamenti now had the puck bounce off him and comes into the Evansville zone deep. Quickly, though, they'll turn it. Scott Curtin with the puck. Lifts one into the Bull zone. Tate is there. Taken away from him by Sadowski, and Birmingham will play at far boards. Walker ahead for Pizzamenti. They couldn't connect. Played back deep into the Bull zone where Stewart will wrap it around the boards himself. Can't get it out. Off the stick of Tate, Birmingham comes the other way. Sadowski sends one in deep. Birmingham will change lines. Berkepak with it. He'll set it up far side for Thiessen. Clearing the zone is Evansville. They'll bring it right back in, though. Abbott had it. Drops it back for his defense. Thiessen with it. Gets it ahead to Abbott. He'll send it in deep. Played by the Bulls near side. Tracy with it for Sadowski. Stick in the way of that pass along the far boards. Still loose. Picked up in the slot. Miller with a shot. That one goes wide as Britton was down to try and block it. Now his puck is lifted under center ice by Birmingham and out. Miller gloves it and sends it right back in. Very few stoppages already, Greg.
Definitely, Jody. You can see it's a wide-open, fast-paced game as Evansville looks to establish a physical presence here in the first 5 minutes.
Well, there's no doubt they're a much more physical team. All but one of their players is over 6 foot tall. This is a big hockey team, and Birmingham typically does not match up well against them. Now the puck is played behind the Bulls net. There's a shot taken by Hobbs. He tried to wrap it around on the backhand. He just misconnected. Sent right back into the Bull zone where Stewart will leave it for Youngworth. Off the stick of Kipledzianko. Semino in deep. Nice little drop pass for Stewart. Left it along the near boards. Puck picked up by Kip, and here comes Birmingham the other way. He couldn't connect with Sinclair. Out of his reach, Wernley with it. He lost his stick. Puck loose, a centering pass right through the paint, nobody there. Glover picks it up near side. He'll cut behind the net. Drake Glover looks for a place to go, drops it. There's a shot, save made, rebound loose. Picked up by Hobbs. As that shot taken far side on the right wing side, a big fat rebound. Glover backhands one in. Played behind the net, Thiessen. He'll set it up far side. Evansville will clear. Brings it into the Bull zone. There's a shot taken by Gilmore into the net and out of play. And I think, Greg, this is the first time we've had a stoppage, it seems like, since the game started. 12:51 to go, first period, no score. Birmingham, if it matters at this point, out shooting Evansville 3-1.
Definitely, Jody, and you can see the familiar faces, right? Scotty Curtin, Tyson Gilmore. I almost called him Dougie.
I know. I'm going to do that before it's over with.
But,
I know it will.
And you can throw Hobbs into that mix too, Jody, because those guys always show up and have big games versus Birmingham. But Curtin and Gilmore especially, they both average a point a game when they play the Bulls. And that is so important for Evansville because it's like we talked about the equation about how I break it down for the goaltenders of Birmingham, right? 1 goal a period. You know, as a forward group, you want to score a goal plus a bit a period. So that magic number is right between 3 and 4. And Evansville definitely is holding fast to that because when they score 3 or more, they win. And when they let up 4,
well, I
don't
saw
ever
in
win.
the stats, Evansville has an incredible record when they give up less than 3 goals in a game. And if I'm not mistaken, their record is like 9-1 when they give up less than 3 goals. But it's just the exact opposite when they give up more than 3. We'll get into that in a minute.
Absolutely.
As Birmingham's Walker wraps one around the boards, plays it in deep. Glover was there first. He's checked on the play near corner. Now it's tied up underneath. Thiessen as well as Walker come in fighting for it. Puck squirts free. Evansville has it, and they'll skate through center ice. Chapman taps one off the boards to Scotty Curtin. He's watched by Scahill. Poked away from him. It comes right to Curtin. Nice pass over for Clark. Clark takes the shot. Got past Stewart, but it was wide. Nice job by Vanderveen to keep it alive. In front, centering pass. Gilmore was there. He couldn't get the shot off, and Birmingham's Walker has it, and he'll just clear the zone. Pizzamenti checks Clark. Clark manages to get the pass over for his partner, but Birmingham intercepts the clearing pass. Scahill drops it back for Gronick. Centering pass gets by everyone back into the Bull zone. Sadowski will play it. Almost too many men. In fact, I believe that's what he's going to call. Birmingham smartly sends the puck during a line change right in front of the Evansville bench. And I do believe they're going to call too many men on the ice.
Let's see if they
Maybe not. He pointed that the referee tonight, Jeff Thomasek, pointed straight at the play when the whistle was blown. I thought that's why the whistle blew.
Maybe the linesman waved it off, Jody, and said, no, it was close enough. So
either way, no power play for any team. Face off right in front of the Evansville bench. Thunderbolts will play it in. Abbott with a shot. Wide of the near post, played far side. McPhee had it. He's checked on the play, lost it. Sadowski sets it up for Pizzamenti. Ben gets it ahead for Zimmer. Damon Zimmer, no place to go. Nice play by Warnley to intercept any pass. Pizzamenti steps in front of that clearing opportunity. The Bulls, Tracy can't keep it in. Tate, he lost it. Pizzamenti picks it up. Birmingham will try it again. Played into the corner. There's a shot by Zimmer. Basically a pass that bounced off the boards in an odd way right in on Christian Stead. He just covers it up for a face-off.
Evansville 16-4, Jody, when they give up 3 or less goals.
16 and what?
16-4.
Wow, that's incredible when you consider Evansville has won 16 games.
Right.
So that's the key to Evansville right there.
Giving up less than 3, because if they give up that 4th one, Jody, they haven't won a game giving up 4 or more.
That's when you think about that, numbers don't lie, but wow, I mean that tells you what Evansville's story is right there. They score, they win. They give up a few goals, they win. Now Stewart brings it in. There's a nice play by Stewart, save made by Hayden Stewart. Puck tied up behind the Bulls' net, comes loose. Picked up by Kip Ledzianko. Ledzianko's pass taken away by Miller, and he'll drop it back for his defense. Berkapek. Pass is deflected by Sinclair, comes right into Youngworth. Off the skate of Contessa. Birmingham will play it. Ledzianko ahead for Wood, out of his reach. And this will be icing on the Bulls. And they'll bring the puck right back into the Bull zone. You know, one thing I've noticed about clearing passes for Birmingham, trying to get that rush going, seems to be just a foot too much at times. They're just not catching up with the puck. I guess as the game progresses, that'll change. But already two different chances like that going off the rye because Birmingham couldn't catch up with the puck.
I think part of that, Jody, is they just don't have that extra half second because Evansville is right in their face finishing their checks every time they turn around. So good offensive pressure in both zones here for Evansville early, forcing the Bulls to move the puck quick.
Face-off in the Birmingham zone. Birmingham controls behind the net. Youngworth has it. Wood catches up with it before Vanderveen. And Youngworth picks it up for the Bulls. He'll send it near side Gagnon. Lifts one into center ice, and this is going to hit the scoreboard, and that'll stop that play. Face-off comes right back into the Birmingham zone. You know, Evansville is my favorite building in the league. I think I've made that clear to everybody. That's such a nice building to go to. The press box is perfect, in a great location. There's never anybody there to bother you. I love playing at the Pelham Civic Complex, but as you just noticed, sometimes the fans can alter your vision, so to speak.
Well,
that doesn't happen in Evansville.
You know, it looks like a big crowd tonight, Jody, and everybody's coming and going, and right in front of us where we don't have a very high vantage point
there's
here.
Not a lot of clearance between us and the fans. It's like the old days in the NHL where the fans could walk into the bench and keep going to their seats in the original 6 days. Britton with the puck. He'll set it up far corner, picked up by Clark. Caron on him. Now it's loose. Two Bulls players go down as Clark take both of them out. Picked up now by Simonone. He'll skate away. Nice backhand pass over for Hobbs. Gains the Bull zone. Takes the shot. Blocker save made by Stewart. Rebound picked up by Simonone. Sets it up far side McPhee. McPhee looking for a deflection. Went through the crease. Picked up by Wernley. His shot. Save made by Stewart. Puck behind the Bulls net now will be played by Gronick. Kyron for Britton. McPhee knocks him off the play. Loose puck picked up by Gronick, and he'll just lift one into center ice. It gets past Abbott. Birmingham will change lines. Soreski, Glover, and Walker out now for the Bulls. Soreski intercepts the pass. Takes a shot wide of this side of Stead. Now it's loose along the near boards, played by Evansville, and they'll chip it off the boards and out. Glover in a defensive position, slides it over Sadowski. Soreski in front, a nice pass there for Walker, save made by Stead. Best scoring chance for the Bulls all night. Now Walker, he's hit by McPhee, still maintains possession of the puck. Behind the net, Glover takes the hit by Wernley. Now Laxonen takes the hit from Soreski. A little physical play by Birmingham. Nice pass over near side for Tracy. Gets it back for Soreski. Off the boards, far side, Glover fighting with Wernley for it. Comes out with the puck. Puck is loose right in the crease. That one never made it through. Glover behind the net, tied up by Laxonen. Wernley as well. Comes free for Walker. He tried to set it up in front. Banked off of several players, and Evans will clear. Tate brings it into the Bull zone. He takes a shot. Pad save made by Stewart. Another centering pass off the stick of two Evansville players. Finds the stick of Ben Pizzamenti. Takes a big hit over there. Far side by Thiessen. Costs the puck up. Evansville has it. Contested with the puck. He'll set it up far side. Thiessen sends it in. Gagnon tries to chip it. Can't get it out. Scotty Curtin, nice positioning. Keeps it alive. Puck played along the near boards. Birmingham's Pizzamenti has it, and he'll get it out to center ice. It's loose there. Picked up by Gronick, who sends a slow backhander in. Thiessen with it now. They'll try and clear as Scotty Curtin has it. Gains that center ice stripe, brings it in the Bulls zone. Three Bulls players over there on him, but he still maintains possession. Curtin tied up by Youngworth. Now it's loose puck, picked up by Sinclair. He can't get it past Contessa. Now it gets past Berkopek, and here comes Birmingham. They'll lose the puck. Berkopek has it. Slides it up far side for Clark, and into the Bull zone it goes. Played behind the net. Youngworth has it. 7:09 to go, first period. No score. Birmingham entertaining Evansville. Sent into the Evansville zone. Sinclair will try and keep it alive for Birmingham. He comes up with the puck, loses it as it's poked away from him. Now Hobbs clears. Scahill puts it right back in, played by Vanderveen. For Stewart, Keenan Stewart chips one to center ice. Semino avoids the check from Scahill but loses the puck. Now Hobbs takes it away. Hobbs centers one. Stewart had his stick lifted by Scahill. Far side, now puck loose, picked up by Birmingham. Bartuccio Pereira has a chance, but he's not back in time as Vanderveen had fresh legs and takes the puck away. He'll set the puck up behind his own net.
You can see here, Jody, both teams really content just to kind of play this dump and chase hockey, dump and chase.
It's like they're looking for somebody to make a mistake.
Exactly.
Before they take control of it themselves. Now Glover takes the puck down on the ice. I believe that's Connor Tate for Evansville. Still slow to get up. He gets to his feet. He's favoring that left leg. We'll keep an eye on him. Birmingham's Tracy goes down. There's another hit. That one going down is Matt Clark. He's slow to get up. Upper body seems to be it now. Here we go. Kenny Britton and Matt Hobbs. They were talking before the game, and those last two Birmingham hits may have done it. Hobbs and Britton. They squared off in Evansville first time. They'll do it again. Hobbs with a big right, another big right. Just one after another. Now breaking free with one right hand is Kenny Britton. Uppercut by Hobbs. These two are going at it. Hobbs getting the best of Britton right now. Now there's a big right by Hobbs, and Britton goes down. Matt Hobbs, if I'm being fair, if we're calling it a buck and keeping it square, Matt Hobbs got the best of that one.
Well, give that one to Hobbs, Jody, but you know what? That's a former Bull right there. And
he's giving the crowd kisses, too. You got to like that.
Yeah, I really liked that kid when he was here, Jody, and I know he's not a kid anymore because that was like 3 years ago.
Grown man.
But when Matt Hobbs first came in, he was one of my favorites, and I hated to see him go.
Yeah.
But that's part of hockey, and here he is tonight, and that's exactly why I liked him, because the kid's got an edge. But nonetheless, Jody, you got to give some hats off to Britton.
Yeah.
Who, you know, came out of retirement, was playing senior hockey in Canada, came down here, and here he is. He's showing up. He's going up against one of the toughest in the league. And Hobbs on the season, I think he leads the league with 9. Does he have 9 majors?
9 majors now. Make that 10 after this. So he's a tough guy, no doubt about it. And if you notice, his fighting style is a little bit different than Kenny Britton. He was corked just 3 or 4 rapid-fire right hands, where Britton would land one big right hand. For every punch Britton landed, it seemed like, whether they landed or not, Hobbs was throwing 3 or 4 more.
Right. Well, that's new school.
Quickness.
New school versus old school, right? Where the new school, they like to tie up, you know, get that inside hand up around, because they used to grab onto elbows. Now they grab right on up under the collar, and then you saw Hobbs come with 2 or 3, 4, bang, 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 right over the top. And then Britton, he just held on, waited to throw that haymaker, and like I said, Hobbs
never gave him that opportunity to throw that big one punch. But you and I were talking before the game. We were trying to figure out exactly who Matt Hobbs was talking to on the center ice stripe. Normally, number 24 for Birmingham is worn by Doug Scott, who just got called up today, South Carolina in the East Coast Hockey League. Well, while he's gone, I guess, but either way, Kenny Britton is wearing 24 tonight. And we figured out who it was. They must have had a good 3 or 4 minute conversation. Do you think part of that conversation is, or was tonight, hey, we got to go?
Well, I think that's just part of it, Jody, where, you know, Hobbs is one who's going to show up, and in this situation, you're right, there were a couple of big hits there by the Bulls, one in the neutral zone, and then Matt Clark got absolutely hammered right there just inside the blue line when he stepped up from the point in on the forecheck. And you could see that Hobbs came straight off. As soon as he saw Britton hit the ice, Hobbs went straight out, and he's like, okay, enough of this nonsense. Let's settle this one back down and get it going, but we'll take care of the physical stuff.
Well, one thing I know, I didn't know Matt Hobbs when he was in Birmingham. He was here the year before I started doing this. One thing I do and have found out about him is he's willing to do whatever it takes for his team. Whether it's scoring, dropping the gloves, or being dirty in front of the net, as we found out 2 years ago when he got the game and series winner against Birmingham in the playoffs. he's willing to do any and everything it takes to win a hockey game.
Well, it was one of those things where, as he was a youngster and in and out of the lineup, Jody, and I said, hey, here's a guy, if you stick with him, he's going to be your captain in 3 or 4 years. And sure enough, here he is wearing the C for
good
Evansville.
call. Good call. No one gets a power play out of it. It's just 2 fighting majors as we're back underway here. 5:33 to go, first period, no score. Puck's into the Bull zone, played by Stewart for Tracy. His pass knocked down, played along the near side. Zimmer's there for Birmingham. Berkopek comes up with a loose puck. Berkopek shot, save made, rebound was there for Gilmore. He couldn't get the shot off as it bounced over his stick. Berkopek behind the net, stops. Centers one for Scotty Curtin. His shot knocked down in front by Sadowski, loses his stick. Centering pass for Thiessen, gets outside the Bull zone. Evansville take, there's a big hit, a collision more or less. I'm not sure that was a hit. But Sadowski, that was Zimmer along with Scotty Curtin ran into each other like a head-on collision. I don't think either one of them knew it was coming. Both of them slow to get back to the bench, Greg. The last thing I expected tonight was a lot of physical play. I thought we'd see a fight, maybe 2. But we've had 2 or 3 big hits here in the early going of this hockey game.
Well, and you can definitely see, and even that one there, Jody, you're right. It was a collision where Curtin, I mean, he was in full stride. He took 3 or 4 good rips right through the neutral zone, was chasing after that puck as it just crossed the blue line. And I don't know if it was Zimmer or Ledzianko, but whoever it was,
Zimmer
was coming straight across and looking to jump past them, and they just collided head on like a freight train.
Well, none of them wanted to fight or get after each other after that, so that tells you that nothing was intentional. It was just 2 freight trains colliding with each other. I'm sure there's smelling salts on the bench to get them back into this mentally, but either way, 4:53 to go, first period, no score. Birmingham out shooting Evansville at this point. 6-5, face-off in the Bull zone to the right of Hayden Stewart.
Yeah, and I think part of those shots on goal, Jody, is just simply from how much dumping and chasing these guys are doing.
Yeah, there's been a couple of that were shots on goal, so you're right. Evansville, though, with the puck. There's a centering pass right in on Stewart. It hit him and dropped to the ice, and he just put the mid over it to cover it up. A lot of traffic in front of Hayden Stewart that time.
Well, and you can definitely see what Evansville MO is, Jody. When they do get their shots, what they're trying to do is put them in low on Hayden Stewart and then try and outman the Bulls in front of their net. And you see how tight they are in there on that blue paint, just begging for a rebound.
Miller on the draw for Evansville. Birmingham controlled, Youngworth with it. Ahead for Glover, takes a hit there from Vanderveen. Birmingham's Walker. He's hit on the play. Physical play really picking up. Semino giving him a 2-hander. Loose puck along the far boards. Evan Miller has it. Soretsky takes it away and gets it over to Gagnon. He dumps one into the far corner. It was picked up by Vanderveen. The thing about Evansville's size is they can absorb a lot of the hits that a younger or a smaller player can't, and they're willing to throw it around. Matt Clark now goes back in his own zone to pick it up.
Yeah, and I was watching Vanderveen and Semino in warm-up, Jody, and those are 2 pretty big stature guys out there throwing their weight around.
Bringing it into the Bull zone is Clark. There's a centering pass save made off the stick of Abbott. Another big save on the rebound by Stewart. Clark set him up nicely, but Stewart answered twice. Tate with the puck. He drops it back for Abbott. Sends one in far side of the post. Along the boards, Tate puts it back in. Scahill picks it up for Birmingham and will try and clear. Bartuccio Pereira with it. Off the stick of Sinclair, couldn't control it, and it's sent back into the Bull zone. Kip Ledzianko, big hit right there. Losing his helmet was Laxonen. Both him and Ledzianko, the 2 Europeans, go down on the play. It looks like the MO tonight has hit Birmingham. Pizzamenti with the puck. Along the far boards, avoids the hit off the glove of McPhee. Still loose at center ice. Pizzamenti couldn't tip it in, and it's taken away by McPhee. He'll bring it into the Bull zone. Hounded there by Gronick. Now it's loose. Picked up by Evansville. Centering pass for Curtin. Knocked down in front. Gronick picks the rebound up. He'll backhand backhand one out. Thiessen takes a hit from Pizamenti, but gets it into the Bull zone. Both teams changing lines on the fly. Gronick with it. He backhands one in right past Christian Stead, and the whistle blows. Icing will be called on the Bulls with 2:33 to go. First period, no score.
Definitely, Jody, a lot of action down there, and you saw that hit down there with Ledzianko, and it looked like a yard sale after that. There were helmets and gloves all over the ice, but nonetheless, Ledzianko knew the hit was coming, and he gave a little bit of a defensive, offensive hit on that one, if that makes sense, but he actually jumped and met him in midair, and I mean, it's just no holds barred right now here in
just due to size alone, physical play favors Evansville, there's no doubt. But Birmingham's trying to answer hit for hit. Thiessen with the puck. He drops it back. Now off the stick. Here comes Stewart. Backhands went over for Miller. He'll bring it into the Bull zone. Can't get past Sadowski, so he goes around him. Nice centering pass, Stewart. Save made. Rebound is loose. Still out. The red light came on. And I believe the referee is going to wave it a goal. That was an odd one. It looked like it bounced right at the goal line. Evansville celebrating. So you have to assume this one's going in. I guess he'll take a look at it, and he will on the iPad. But as it stands, 2:15 to go, first period. Unless he changes his mind, Evansville is up 1-0.
Yeah, it was a little bit bizarre there, Jody, but they came streaking down that left side, and just little drop pass launched a bullet. Right, and it hit right on the crossbar, and I don't think the first one was in. I think it hit the crossbar, but it came straight down to the ice, and then hit the ice, and then bounced right towards that corner post. And
well, it looked like one of the Evansville players was trying to make sure it got in.
Right.
But I'm not so sure in the first place it didn't happen and bounced, like you said, off the crossbar right in, just underneath or just past that goal line. The referee tonight, Jeff Tomasek, still taking a look at it.
Well, and the light did go on, but the referee
it was delayed, though.
Yeah,
it didn't come on immediately. The referee was in position to make the call.
Great position there, yeah. He was right behind the net when all that commotion was going on. So if it crossed the line, he was right there to see it. But
calling it a goal, no doubt. So Evansville takes a 1-0 lead over the Birmingham Bulls. 2:15 to go here in the first period. Not sure who will get credit for the goal. Maybe Scotty Curtin, I'm not sure. We'll get that in just a second because they just now made the call of the goal. Either way, Evansville takes a 1-0 lead as the goal is scored by Keenan Stewart, his 6th of the year. Assist on the play goes to Jordan Semino. I'm sure there'll be an assist added. That's just a singular assist, but either way, it doesn't matter. Evansville takes a 1-0 lead. Gagnon with the puck now for Birmingham. Right in on Stead, who makes the save and steered to the far side. Birmingham's Wood can't keep it in. They'll have to back it out. Youngworth off the boards and the stick of Sinclair gets in deep. Played there by Laxonen. Puck loose in the Evansville zone. Tate has it. He'll get it up to Abbott. Abbott sends one into the near corner. Gagnon and Laxonen going in after it. Birmingham comes up with the puck. Kept Ledzianko ahead for Gronick. He loses possession, and it's played by Clark. Slides it over for Vanderveen. Poked there by Gronick, but he maintains possession, gets it back to Clark. Matt Clark with the puck. Gains that center ice stripe and dumps it in near side. Bartuccio Pereira sets it up for Gronick. Gronick lifts one but not out. McPhee, a good job to pinch in from the point to keep it alive. Gilmore and Gronick tied up now. McPhee takes the hit from behind by Pizamenti. Loose puck along the far boards. We're down to a minute to go here in the first period. Evansville up 1-0. Far boards. Caron lost possession. Curtin takes it away. Now Scahill lifts one. Contessa almost kept it alive, but he couldn't. Drops it back in, so Evansville will vacate the zone. Come right back out, Birmingham. Sends one in, far side wide of Christian Stead. So icing again is the call on Birmingham. We've had at least 3 or 4 of those icing calls on Birmingham here in this first period.
Definitely. You see they're looking for that stretch pass with
Yeah.
the winger slashing through the neutral zone. But that's so hard to make that pass, Jody, especially when you get this extra pressure. And you can see everybody, both benches, in appreciation for Hobbs and Britton. Everybody giving them a standing ovation.
And they
down
come out
there.
of the penalty box.
Yep.
Everybody's now at full strength.
That seemed like a long 5 minutes, though, but nonetheless, that's all it was.
See, Matt Clark went down and gave Matt Hobbs a hug after he came out of the penalty box, went straight to the bench. It's amazing how a fight can lift a team up when, well, it just did. You could tell that Matt Clark really appreciated it. Now Evansville brings the puck in. That's Semino with it. Bartuccio Pereira can't take it away, slides it over. There's a shot wide, rebound loose in front of an open net. Miller couldn't get a stick on the puck. McPhee has it. Slide it over for Wernley. His shot goes wide, loose along the near side. We're down to 15 seconds of time remaining. Evansville putting the pressure on late. Semino with the puck near side. It comes free for Stewart, who had the only goal of the night. Keenan Stewart, 3 seconds to go. In front, Semino was there, couldn't get a stick on the puck, and the horn goes. Now, C.J. Walker takes a left from Semino. Walker had something to say because that puck was shot after the whistle blows. Now, Semino and Walker still jarring with each other. Wernley comes in now. The referees and linesmen trying to separate both teams. Now Scahill has something to say. Burkovic comes in. He tries to separate at least one Birmingham player. That's Scahill in the midst of the entire Evansville bench. Linesmen escort him away.
Yeah, so that's interesting there, Jody. I mean,
the entire Birmingham bench is where they're supposed to be on the bench.
What's the point of Evansville coming onto the ice at the end of the period when they just go underneath? That's my thing. But I will say, don't be fooled by Scahill, because he's one who's quietly been making a name for himself, and I like that kid. He plays with a lot of grit, and he's not afraid to throw the gloves, but he's not a very recognized name around the league for the fisticuffs.
Can you say he's growing up a little bit this year from what we saw last year? It was always there with Scahill, but it's almost as if he wanted just to make sure he was in the right spot at the right time, didn't want to do anything that his experience, his longevity in the league didn't precipitate. Scahill has really shown to be a nice addition physicality-wise for Birmingham. But most important thing here right now for both teams is Birmingham and Evansville going to the locker room after 20 minutes of play with Evansville with a 1-0 lead. Now, if it matters, Evansville has a 9-4-2 record when they score first in a hockey game, and when they lead at the end of one, Evansville is 8-0-1-2. So what does that translate? It's hard to beat Evansville when they lead after one, is what that translates to.
Right, and especially, Jody, you can see the style of play that they're playing, where they're locking it down, they're getting the pucks deep, they're sending in multiple forecheckers, playing a real physical game, and not giving Birmingham anything coming back the other way, where Birmingham has no option when they see that wall on the blue line. Their only choice is to dump it in, and then you got to go chase it. But what that equates to is the Birmingham Bulls only getting 6 shots on goal. So if you're Evansville, and we talked about that 3 goals or less against and what that means for them, only giving up 6 shots in the first period is exactly where they want to be.
Well, it's working as we speak right now. As we said earlier, Evansville it's almost as if they can't be beat when they give up less than, or 3 goals or less. Birmingham's going to have to try and fight their way out of this one. That long head-manning pass that you talked about just doesn't seem to be connecting tonight. So we're going to have to figure something out. Evansville is made for dump and chase hockey, though.
Oh, yeah.
Their size and physicality makes it very difficult to be able to dump the puck in and go get it, especially when you're as small as Birmingham is. Either way, 9-6 shots on goal right now in favor of Evansville. 1-0 at the end of one period of play. And once again, the voice of Evansville, the Thunderbolts, Tommy Pecoraro, is out tonight. I don't think, as I said earlier, he's ever missed a game. Knowing Tommy, I wouldn't see any reason why he would, other than having a loss in the family, which is what happened with Tommy, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. And we hope the people in Evansville We're not as good as Tommy, I admit that. He's a professional. We do this. I've done it for 30 years, but either way, Tommy, we miss you. He's supposed to be driving in town for tomorrow night. And if he makes it in, I'm going to buy him lunch. If not, well, we'll make sure he gets into the building okay, and you guys in Evansville can have him back tomorrow night. You got a good one in Tommy. All right, at the end of one period of play, Birmingham trailing Evansville by a score of 1-0. We'll be back in a few minutes to get you caught up around the league and a few other things that might be going on. You're listening to Birmingham Bulls Hockey. Not even hearing Pat.
You got to have the monitor up.
Why can't we hear the music, though?
Can they go the other direction
there's
now?
Pat's knob there.
Okay. So this got to be music.
Yeah.
There we go.
Load up the bullpen, fire up the crowd. Turning bulls loose, make the family proud.
Yeah, but what's different?
Boys crash the crease.
We didn't change anything.
Bulls country, rulers of the Cahaba Valley. Bulls country, rulers of the Cahaba Valley. No, this ain't no rodeo. Tempest flare gloves hit the ice. Kick his ass not once but twice. Down south losing is a sin. Bulls light the lamp and the good gods win. Steal our country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. House, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. House, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. House, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. No, this ain't no rodeo. Over the mountain, Vulcan on the right. Lineup is set and the roster's tight. Blades laced up and the twigs feeling right. Going Bulls deep in the ring tonight. House, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. House, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. No, this ain't no rodeo.
And around the league tonight in the SPHL, a lot of important games as we take a look at the standings real quick, and we'll just rip through the top 6 or so because Peoria, they're on top, 53 points coming into this weekend's games. The Havocs are in second place in the league with 45, followed by the Ice Flyers. They're also tied for that second and third spot with 45 points. Then you've got the Rail Yard Dogs coming in at fourth with 39. Evansville, who's in town tonight, facing off against the Bulls. They're sitting in fifth place with 38 points. And then now it starts to get tight. Quad City in sixth place with 37. And they're just slightly ahead by 4 points over Knoxville, who's sitting in seventh place, and that's one spot ahead of the Bulls, where Knoxville is sitting at 33.
Well, Birmingham and Knoxville are the same points.
Right, as
but
are the Bulls.
The difference between Birmingham and Knoxville are games in hand. Knoxville has played 33 games coming into tonight, while Birmingham has played 2 more games. So percentage-wise, Knoxville is ahead of Birmingham.
Right. Knoxville is sitting at a percentage of 514, and the Bulls are sitting at an even 500. And, you know, the Bulls as of late, Jody, I mean, they're putting a good stretch together where they're sitting with 4 out of 5 of their last wins, you know, in comparison to Evansville, who's 0-3 in their last 3, with one of those being on the 23rd of January, that overtime loss to Birmingham in Evansville. But nonetheless, the Bulls still sit in 8th place, and they're making up some ground because they were in 10th. But the Bulls in 8th place, or 7th, I guess, at 33 points, with the Mayhem at 32, just 1 point behind the Bulls in 9th. But Macon has 3 games at hand over the Bulls. So
that doesn't set well with me.
Right.
I mean, that means you're having to rely on other teams in this league to do what you need to be doing, and that's getting points. The only way Birmingham, at this point in the season, can even think about it is if other teams help them. I mean, you've got Knoxville with games in hand on Birmingham, Macon with games in hand on Birmingham, Fayetteville with games in hand on Birmingham, and all 3 of those teams are teams we need to be beneath us.
Well, Fayetteville, they're in 10th place with 31 points, but they've got 2 games at hand on the Bulls, so technically that's a potential 4-point difference.
Sure.
So, with all that being said, Jody, you know, interesting to see how many games does Birmingham have against Macon? Because you mentioned they had, 23 games remaining?
23 remaining. I know that I believe 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, are against Macon. I can tell you this, the next 6 games for Birmingham are going to be crucial. Starting tonight, you got 2 games against Evansville, who's not out of reach for Birmingham. Then on February 6th and 7th, we go to Fayetteville, which is no doubt a team that both of those teams, Birmingham and Fayetteville, need wins in that to get to this playoff mark. And then 13th and the 14th of February, we play Macon. So Evansville, Fayetteville, and Macon are the next Birmingham 6 opponents. That will go a long way in deciding just what Birmingham will need to do.
This is your opportunity, and it's that time of year, Jody, that this is kind of that make or break time. And nonetheless, with that being said, after reviewing the standings, Quad City tonight with 16 minutes to go in the third period. They're up 3-0 over Roanoke.
Wow.
So, interesting to see there's that logjam between 4 and 6, but Quad City taking it to Roanoke tonight at home.
Roanoke's had a rough go of it as of late. It just doesn't seem like the same type team. I mean, they're 5-5 in their last 10, but Peoria, this is a team that, if you ask me, somebody's going to have to reckon with them. They've went 17 games, Greg, without a loss. 17.
They're a full package hockey team. You talk about players going up and all that stuff, Jody. The guys in Peoria, well, and Huntsville for that matter, they're not going anywhere.
Well, when we mention Peoria, Evansville's got to be thinking about these guys. After this weekend, the next 7 games for Evansville, that's like Birmingham, play a huge role. 4 of those 7 games they play are against Peoria.
Wow.
And 2 of them are against Macon. So, I mean, it's going to boil down to this. And you mentioned Quad City over Roanoke. Knoxville is ahead of Macon at this point.
Yep.
Late in the second, 1-0. And Huntsville at the end of 1 leading Peoria 1-0. That should be an entertaining hockey game right there in and of itself. The first and second place team in the league. But Fayetteville up 3-1 on Pensacola. That one kind of bothers me a little bit. This is a team in Pensacola that you would think could take Fayetteville out, but I guess not. Fayetteville had a trade this week. They sent or received 2 players, if I'm not mistaken, from Roanoke. Roanoke traded Trey Fetchko to Fayetteville, and going the other way was Alex Wilkins and John Ayanzo.
Huh.
So Fayetteville,
2 for 1.
yeah, they got a little offense in Trey Fetchko.
Well, let's see how he's, if he's came into it. Yeah, look at that, Jody.
Fetchko, yeah.
Trey Fetchko, first goal. Marcus Fetchko.
His brother, yeah. It's a weird situation, too. Marcus Fetchko was waived by Roanoke. Very good rookie hockey player. And just a few days later, his brother Trey, on the IR, was mysteriously activated and traded the same day to Fayetteville. But both the players, Marcus and Trey Fetchko, figuring in tonight's scoring as well. Marcus Fetchko, 2 goals.
2 goals. So the Fetchko brothers, Jody.
Making a difference in Fayetteville.
Yep, making a difference.
All right, we're about ready for play here in the second period. Fayetteville. Evansville with a 1-0 lead over Birmingham. When Birmingham trails at the end of 1, and I like these numbers. I don't know why they appeal to me so much, but they do. When Birmingham is trailing at the end of 1, they're 4-8-1-1. So you got to buck the trend here and knock a little of that history down and come back and do something. We'll see what happens. Sinclair on the draw for Birmingham. Hobbs for Evansville as we're underway here in the second period. They're going to drop it again, I guess. Linesman didn't like the way that puck was dropped.
Sinclair didn't even get a stick down on the ice.
1 second ticked off the clock. I wonder if they'll put that 1 second back on. I guess not.
I doubt it.
Here we go. Now the puck is dropped and we're underway. Youngworth for Birmingham sets it up far side for Gagnon, who sends it in. No icing. It was deflected before it went into the Evansville zone. Puck paid along the far boards. Evansville Hobbs skates it out, gives it to Stewart. The lone goal scorer of the night, Keenan Stewart. Gagnon goes down on the play, lost an edge. Birmingham can't clear. Thiessen with a shot knocked down in front. Matt Wood has it, sets it up for Gagnon, and he'll skate away. Jordan sends one in deep, played by Thiessen. Sinclair on him. Puck comes up near side. Semino has it, avoids the check of Glover. Ledzianko takes him down. They're going to call a penalty on Kip Ledzianko, who immediately, I don't know exactly what happened, but I know this. Kip doesn't agree with it. He got his arms around each other, and Kip Ledzianko immediately threw his arms in the air while his stick was being held.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? Either way, he's going to the box, so.
A penalty-less first period was very even, Jody, but you got to watch Evansville here as they have the second best road power play, and they convert 26% of the time
that's strong
on road power play chances. And they also have the second best road penalty kill, which we haven't seen tonight. But nonetheless, here we go.
All right, first power play for either team tonight. Birmingham manages to clear the zone to start with. Instead, leaves it behind the net. Berkapak He'll skate away through center ice. Gets away from Walker, brings it in to the Birmingham zone. Walker takes that pass away, though, from Tate and clears for the Bulls. Abbott slides it just behind Tate, who has to circle back in his own zone for possession of the puck. Gives it to Berkopec. Brings it into the Bulls zone. Slides it in deep. Behind the net is played. Semino back at the point. Near side Tate. Hounded by Sinclair. Drops it back for Berkopec. Back to Tate in front, looking for a deflection.
Wow.
Wall. Miller was there. Save made. Rebound still loose. Tate couldn't get it in. It's still loose to the left of Stewart. Puck bounces into the air and is taken by Abbott. Birmingham very fortunate this isn't 2-0. Now a shot just inside the blue line. Semino is there. He takes a deflection. He's so big he can't be moved. Stewart laying prone on the ice for some unbeknownst reason to me. Birmingham able to clear. Greg, we could not move Semino out of the way.
Definitely not, Jody, but I tell you, Hayden Stewart did everything he could there to melt and get his pads across there. They just kept whacking and whacking away.
Now
Here comes
give away.
Glover.
Glover has a chance. He can't get past Curtin on the play, or he had a shot at a breakaway. Now Stewart behind his own net. He loses it to Glover. Glover had the puck skate off the end of his stick. Now it's loose, picked up by Scotty Curtin, who'll give it to Clark. Just inside the Bulls' blue line, Matt Clark. Near side, there's a centering pass for Hobbs. His shot whistled high and wide. Cleared by the Bulls down the ice. As Pizzaminti does, we're down to 5 seconds of power play time remaining. Couple of good scoring opportunities there for Evansville, but Hayden Stewart answers the call, and we're able to kill that penalty off. Now Tracy takes his man out far side. That was contested. Loose puck picked up by the Bulls. Sadowski for Gronick. Not a lot of ice time tonight for Kyron Gronick. Puts the puck into the Evansville zone. Played there by McPhee. He tried to clear, deflects back in on Miller. Quick skating, Evan Miller. Ooh, he takes a big head up high by Tracy. Both go down. Puck along the far side. Stewart didn't know where the puck was. Now Birmingham loses it. Chapman with a shot, he scores.
Wow.
Little traffic in front. Chapman with a seeing eye puck there. Puts it in that top right-hand portion of the goal. And Evansville, off the stick of Chapman, leads 2-0.
Jody, I think what you're going to see here is that was deflected by Contessa right at the last second. Number 72 for Evansville, as he was skating through, and a quick wrister that got up, and I think Contessa just chipped it off the shaft of his stick at the last second.
Well, it sure did go at the top shelf real quickly.
Yep.
So
redirected it.
I don't think that shot from just inside the blue line would have been like that. You're right. Now that I think about it, it had to be deflected. Here's the call.
Unassisted goal scored at 3:20.
They'll give it to Chapman unassisted. I think that's going to change. But we'll wait and see. Nonetheless, 3:20 the time of the goal as the puck's into the Birmingham zone. 2-0 Evansville with the lead. Along the near side, C.J. Walker had it taken away from him by Curtin. Scotty Curtin fighting for it. Puck squirts free to center ice. Played by Birmingham. Scahill over. Far side for Bertuccio Pereira. Back to Scahill. Deflected, no icing will be called, and Vanderveen picks it up far side. Birmingham changing lines. Will Vanderveen with the puck. Through center ice, taken away by the Bulls. Matt Wood, he'll bring it in right wing side. Wood watched by Miller. Cuts behind the net, looks for a place to go with it. 5 of the Evansville players are right there to take that pass away, and he had nowhere to go. Easily taken away by the Thunderbolts. They'll send it out where Gagnon will pick the loose puck up for Birmingham. Sends it in the near corner. Clark plays it away from Sinclair. Gilmore's there as well, who'll pick the loose puck up for Evansville. Takes a hit by Sinclair, but easily gets it out to Stewart. Keenan Stewart dumps it in deep. Line change for Evansville as Gagnon sends it near side for Youngworth up through center ice. Hobbs had it bounce off his stick, and Matt Wood will lift it high into the Evansville zone. Bounces off the boards, Berkopec. Still loose along the far boards. Picked up by Thiessen. Behind the net, Berkopec has it. Sets it up for Miles Abbott. Nice pass ahead, just bounced off the stick of Semino. Semino had it taken away by Tracy. Loose puck. Thiessen with a shot. That one goes wide. Played by Abbott. Centering pass for Hobbs. His shot knocked down by Sadowski, and the puck is cleared to center ice. At this point, Greg, Birmingham seems like it has no answer for whatever Evansville is doing to them.
Well, it's tough the way Evansville is setting this up, Jody. Even when the Bulls come back in their zone, Evansville has 4 guys behind their red line, so tough to penetrate.
Puck played back into the Thunderbolts zone. Birkepack has it. Pizzamenti on him. Still loose along the far boards. Loose puck finds the stick of C.J. Walker for Sadowski. He takes the shot, save made by Stead. He didn't know where the rebound was. It floated behind the net. Soretsky is there. Still loose, Thiessen with it. Soretsky tries to take it away. Loose still. Picked up now finally by Birkepack, and he'll slide it up for Abbott. And Abbott clears the zone. 13:40 to go, second period. Evansville 2, Birmingham nothing. Off the stick of Walker for Glover. Return for CJ. Played off the boards, now behind the net. Far side picked up by McPhee. McPhee loses possession. Bartuccio Pereira with it. Holding on to the puck. Jonathan Bartuccio Pereira back to Scahill. Slap shot deflected wide of the net. Big hit there by Bartuccio Pereira, but Birmingham can't maintain possession, and Evansville clears back into the Bull zone.
Would have been nice, Jody, if Pereira could have hit him right across the seam there as the Bulls defender was stepping in on that back post, but nonetheless, he made the safe play, just came back.
Sinclair will bring it in to the Evansville zone. Behind the net, McPhee, along with Wood going after it. Kip Ledzianko there for Birmingham. Gets it back on his defense. Cross-eyes pass didn't connect. Chapman, the last goal scorer, brings it, gives it to Miller, Evan Miller. Poke checked away from him by Youngworth, and Kip Ledzianko gets it ahead. Kip brings it in. Return pass for Sinclair. Takes a shot. Pad save made by Evansville. A penalty is coming up as Sinclair brought it in the zone. He was cross-checked on the play, and Birmingham will go on the power play for the first time tonight at a much-needed time, down 2-0.
Definitely, and this is something that the Bulls have to capitalize on here, Jody, as we get close to that midway point of the game, and the Bulls just sitting at 7 shots on goal.
Yeah.
Is definitely, you need a little bit of
offensive
jam here coming up and capitalize on this power play. One of the key guys you got to look for here is Drake Glover, Jody. And with the tear he's been on lately, I think he's got points in his last 5 or 6 games. And the thing about Glover is when he's shooting, his shot percentage of how much he shoots versus how much he scores is right at 28%. So
that's
better
very
than
high.
1 in 4 shots on goal. Glover lights the lamp.
But Doug Scott, the usual quarterback on the first power play unit, is sitting in South Carolina tonight, not here in Birmingham.
Right.
Exactly what does that mean when you lose that aspect on your blue line on the power play?
Well, you got to look at who's next up, you know, and
well, is there anybody that is next up in your opinion?
Oh, I don't know. I just saw
he brings a different skill set than most of your other players do.
The problem is, Jody, it's one of those things where coming into practice with Pereira coming in so late in the week, that, well, here he is. So, you know, check me. But just on that last shift up there where he was jumping up on forward, he's got some offensive jam, and he knows his way around the front of the net. So,
well, he's out there for this PP, like you say. Sinclair out with Glover, Kip Ledzianko, C.J. Walker, and Bartuccio Pereira. First game as a Bull, he's on the first power play unit. That's pretty strong. Off the draw, Birmingham has it. Bartuccio Pereira leaves it for Kip. Cross-eyes pass for Walker, takes the shot, save made by Stead. He gave up the rebound, but was quick to pounce on it, though, so no second chances for Birmingham then.
Well, good job by Ledzianko. Fed that right through the seam in front of the net, Jody, right across the box. And Walker got it, but there was so much on that pass to get across there so quick. He had to double clutch it and then pump and then shoot. And by that time, Stead was across. And I'm not going to say he made an easy save, but he had good positioning on that.
Off the draw, Sinclair has it for Birmingham. Back at the point for Bartuccio Pereira. Almost lost it at the blue line, maintains control. Down low, that puck bounced off of Glover's stick into the netting, out of plays. Kind of upset with himself. He may have seen somewhere that he was about to go with the puck, because he doesn't get frustrated that often.
That's one of those situations there, Jody, that I think he tried to force it down to Glover, where the direct pass would have been over to Sinclair, and then Sinclair feeds it across for Glover. So we'll see if they get that corrected.
Off the draw, Birmingham's Ledzianko gets it back for Pereira. Returns for Kip. Pass over for Walker in front. Walker had it, backhands wide. Kip Ledzianko with it. He'll drop it down low. Walker has it. Glover with him. Loose puck now along the far boards. Kip Ledzianko keeps it alive for Pereira. Takes the shot. That one didn't make it in. I believe it actually hit someone in front. Near side, Bartuccio Pereira gives it for Walker. Walker plays it down low. Ledzianko, a one-timer. That one's out.
Score.
The referee hasn't made a signal yet. What a one-timer there by Kip, who's arguing already with the point. They're obviously going to have to take a look at it, but Birmingham's celebrating like we know it's in. And if so, that's a big goal, Greg Dreveny. It would make this game a 2-1 game.
Absolutely, Jody. You saw it there. It was kind of very similar to that first one that Evansville got on Stewart. And that puck came through, found its way through Stead, and just barely trickled across the goal line. And Stead was back there diving at it with his hand. And you could see Stead. I don't think he's going to be fighting this one. But
well, they're seeing the replay now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that puck made it in or not. There's black tape on the sticks, which makes it kind of difficult from this vantage point to see. Hobbs is actually arguing on Evansville's side, but not a very animated argument, so I would assume that means they're expecting it to be a Birmingham goal. We'll see. Referee tonight, Jeff Thomasek, had a couple of times where he's had to consult the replay, Greg.
Well, definitely, and I wish that we could get the replay pumped in, Jody, where above the nets they've got those straight down cameras.
That's what it would take.
Yeah, I would really like to see that one. I think that's the feed that the referee gets there.
Sure. No goal.
No goal.
He wiped it off. No goal.
Wow.
Well, he's got a vantage point that we don't, like you just said. If he's looking at the overhead portion of it and he does not see the puck bounce across that line, he has no choice but to call a no goal.
Well, and Jody, there's a lot of things that could discount that goal going in, whether or not it crossed the line. But I know that there was a black jersey right in all over the paint over top of Stead. So one way or the other, nonetheless, no goal for the Bulls, but on the flip side, they do still have 1 minute and 7 seconds here to go in this power play to get their first one of the game.
1:07 left on the power play, as you said. Matt Hobbs kind of, if you notice that, he's kind of laughing as he comes back to the bench. As we're back underway here, puck is dropped, controlled by the Bulls. Scahill with it. For Gronick. Down low for Soretsky. Back for Scahill. Scahill with it. Sets it up far side for Wood. Tried to set it up for Gronick. Easily intercepted by Evansville, and they'll clear the zone.
Good job by Evansville boxing that up tight, Jody. Got their stick in the shooting lane there, passing lane, and broke that one up. But here come the Bulls.
Scahill for Gronick. Gets it ahead. Pizzaminti fanned on the shot, and he had it. He had that one, no one between him. Instead, Birmingham loses possession, and Evansville will clear.
Well, and it's plays like that, Jody, that have really been the difference tonight, where Evansville capitalizing, but we'll see if the Bulls can convert here late.
20 seconds remaining on the power play. Puck in the Evansville zone. Comes free from Matt Hobbs. Hobbs will get it out and send it down the ice, and that'll do it for this power play for Birmingham as Stewart out of his net plays it himself for Scahill. Back in full and even strength as Evansville and Birmingham. Sends it back in. Stead will play it. No icing on the Bulls. Like Sonnen does, he takes the puck off the boards and sends it right back into the Bulls zone. And as Gagnon touches up, icing is called on the Bulls. Greg, when you get a play like that where you think, okay, we're back into this hockey game, or at least make it different, yet you wind up with no goal, I mean, it's got to do something to you mentally. I mean,
Oh, it definitely does, but you can see the pressure that the Bulls
Right, that's what I'm
PP1
saying.
had, Jody. Then you got to go to PP2, and
It's just it's a drop-off. Now, Karan off the draw sends a shot in that's easily handled there by Stead. He holds on to it. As this game progresses more and more, and Birmingham failing to dent that scoreboard, it's got to do something for Stead's confidence as well. He's not had a good go of it the last couple of times he's played Birmingham, but we all know, I mean, this kid's 6th in the league in goaltending,
Right.
2.28 goals against. He can play goal.
he's solid.
Face off in the Evansville zone. Loose puck, Zimmer gets it back for Gagnon. He takes the shot well wide. It comes in deep, though, played by Evansville behind their own net. McPhee, far side for Tate. Stewart calling for the puck. He couldn't get it there. Wernley has it. He lost it to Britton. Britton
Good
avoids
go.
the hit almost by McPhee. We may see those two later on just because of that. Puck in the Evansville zone. Gagnon, near side, Youngworth. Youngworth sends a shot and deflected away behind the net. Near side will go into the corner. Now Stewart takes the hit from Zimmer, and they'll clear the zone. Gagnon, pass over for Youngworth. Ahead for Sinclair. Looking for a Kip Ledzianko. He couldn't catch up with it, and Evansville has the puck. They lose it center ice. Sinclair will bring it in. Drops it back for Kip. Ledzianko plays it behind the net. Going in after it is Wood. He can't get there. Now it's tied up along the near boards. Sinclair along with Chapman. Birmingham's Ledzianko shot knocked down by McPhee. Penalty coming up, and I believe this one's going up against Evansville as well. Ledzianko down on the ice.
Looks like a hooking call there. Ledzianko, good job to knock down that puck, Jody. Took 2 steps, but there was no getting that shot off. He was all wrapped up by sticks left and right. So this is a take your pick, 2 minutes for hooking. Looks like they're going to send Gilmore.
Gilmore off the ice for hooking. 9:10 to go here in the second period of play. Evansville holding on to a 2-0 lead. Goals in the first at 17:45 by Stewart and at 3:20 by Chapman, as they still have an unassisted goal from Chapman. I'm with you, though. It looked like it was deflected in front, but nonetheless, doesn't really matter. It gives Evansville a 2-0 lead. Birmingham's had a couple of calls go against it, and I'm not saying either one was bad calls. I'm not.
Right.
I'm just saying right now the luck of the puck seems to be in Evansville's favor.
Well, definitely, especially on that second goal by Evansville, Jody. I mean, the first one, crossbar, bar down, puck bouncing around, finds its way across the line. Okay. You know, that's just a gritty, hard-working goal, as they call it there. Gilmore, 2 minutes for hooking. But Evansville, Jody, 87% coming in tonight. I bet you that last one where they got the kill probably put them at 88% PK
That's strong
rate.
numbers.
Yeah, that's what, second in the league.
When you can't score when
Right.
you have a man advantage, well, that speaks for itself. Birmingham on the second power play of the night, 0 for 1 thus far. Far side Sinclair for Pereira. Ledzianko back to Pereira. Sets it up far side Sinclair. Ledzianko's one-timer couldn't get all of it. Birmingham's Pereira, nice job to keep it alive. Walker has it. Comes back for Pereira, fake the slap shot down low for Kip. His pass broken up in the slot by Hobbs, and Evansville clears. It looks like to me Bartuccio Pereira's a little gun-shy in taking that shot. Maybe it's because it's his first game as a Bull. Either way, Kip Ledzianko brings it in past Vanderveen, looking for a centering pass. Wood couldn't get a stick on the puck. Pereira has it. For Soretsky. Plays down low for Kip. Back for Pereira. He takes a shot, blocked in front by Laxon, and there's a rebound far side for Walker. Instead makes the save, and he'll hold it for a face-off. 8:16 to go, second period. Bulls with another minute 6 left on the power play.
Yeah, well, you can see, Jody, it's like Pereira coming in, that he's quarterbacking back there on the blue line. The guys tell him what the power play is, and you know that the Bulls' power play is not a shot from up top.
Yeah.
You know, they work it down the left or right side and then look to come through that seam, and Evansville is all over that tonight, and they're clogging up that middle, and they're not letting that pass get through.
Evansville maintains possession on the draw and easily clears as the puck squirts past Scahill. Stopped by Stewart. He'll drop it off there for Scahill. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Scahill with the puck, slowly brings it in, knocked away from him on the poke check, but he gets it to Gronick. Around the boards it goes. Wood keeps it alive for Soretsky, near side Gronick. Back for Scahill. Gronick takes the shot, blocked in front by McPhee. Picked up by Evansville, and they'll clear. There's a big drop-off, Greg, between power play unit number 1 and power play unit number 2 for Birmingham.
Well, especially if you've got Gronick out there on PP2, Jody. He's got 4 points on the year, so.
Scahill will bring the puck up through 10 seconds to go on the power play as he sends it in. Semino picks up. Puck can't get it out. Scahill keeps it alive. There's a shot by Zimmer, knocked down. Along the far boards, Evansville's killed the penalty, back at even strength.
Yep, look out.
Puck kept alive by the Bulls. Wood has it. His shot blocked in front. Now Sadovsky has it. Evansville is just physically taking possession of the puck away from Birmingham in the offensive zone as Laxonen tries to get it past Sadovsky. Can't do it. But off of several skates, comes right back to Semino, sends one in on Stewart. Sadovsky avoids the check, but Evansville has the puck. Back into the Bulls zone, it's sent Stewart with it. He'll play it himself around the boards. Gets past everyone, back into the Evansville zone, where Thiessen has it for the Thunderbolts. Off the stick of Miller. Playing it there is Tracy. Turns his back on Chapman. Puck is loose, picked up by Sinclair. And for Glover for Walker. Poked away from him, Glover trying to get it. In front, Glover has it. Try to backhand pass through his legs for Walker, almost connected, but no shot taken. Near side, played by Evansville. Berkopek with the puck just beneath the goal line. Steps out. He'll skate away. Joey Berkopek curls back in. He didn't like what he saw. Sets it far side for Thiessen. Now it's center ice. Loose puck picked up by Kyron Gronick. Poked away from him. Stewart picks the puck up. Gets past Pizzamenti, but Gagnon chips it back to center ice. Right back in the Bull zone. Puck is sent. Stewart for Youngworth. Ahead for Pizzamenti. Gagnon with it. Can't get past McPhee. Sends a shot around the boards where it's kept alive by Youngworth. A lot of perimeter play in the offensive zone. Loose puck just to the corner of the net. Played by Evansville and out. Semino takes the shot. Stopped by Stewart. Crowd trying to get a little of their energy going on the Bulls bench, but it's kind of tough when you don't see a lot of scoring opportunities. Gagnon sets it up far side for Youngworth. Pizzamenti deflected it in. Played by Evansville far side. That's McPhee. For Contessa. Near side pass Gilmore. Tyson with the puck. Takes the shot. Got past Stewart, but wide.
Wow.
Now that puck sent right back in. Scahill will pick it up for the Bulls. And that far face-off circle chips one off the boards down into Evansville zone. No icing, so Stead will play it. Matt Wood intercepts that pass. Now 4 different Evansville players make sure he had nowhere to go with, and they take the puck away. Scotty Curtin gets past Pereira, and he'll send one into the Bull zone. Line change for Evansville. Sinclair back through center ice, tried to hook up with Walker. Matt Clark picks it up for the Thunderbolts. Walker trying to forecheck his way in. Picked up, far side, taken away by Glover. Drake. Back for Tracy, played behind the net, Soretsky. Centers a pass, Glover's shot, that's deflected in front and out of play with 3:45 to go here in the second period. Birmingham still trailing 2-0 to Evansville. And Greg, we've never said this Birmingham Bulls version tonight is the finished product. We're always a work in progress in minor league hockey. But is it any easier for Evansville to prepare for Birmingham when it looks like they're making sure that when Glover's on the ice and Kip's on the ice, that their best defensive players are also on the ice?
Well, I mean, that's part of the issue here, Jody, is you know, when you look at a guy like Danny Wade who's out of the lineup, and I'm sorry, but, you know, there's a guy who's good for a point a game when he's on the ice, but when he's not in the lineup,
it's a big hole he leaves behind.
It is, absolutely it does. And, you know, Olenik's another one, and you're missing Ledzianko. And
well, between Phil Ledzianko being out for the year after that horrible injury he suffered earlier on, and Danny Wade injured again, I mean, he was gone for over 2 months on the IR with an ankle issue. Played for 3 games and right back on the IR now. That's players that are so good, Greg. You just can't replace them anyway.
Right. But there's a difference, Jody, when you've got one line to focus on versus 2.5. And that's what the Bulls are running into now. Is you got basically 3 guys that you got to worry about.
Off the draw, Birmingham has it. Sadowski well in from the point. Sends it behind the net, far side, Tracy. Back behind the net, picked up by Berkepekin easily. Evansville clears. Stewart with the puck. The whistle blows. I don't think that was offside, Greg. I think the referee's going to make a cross-checking call on Berkepek. He's not happy about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't see anything. I was following the puck, but Berkepek escorted the penalty box, so Birmingham right back on the power play. Their 3rd of the night.
Yeah. 2 minutes for cross-checking. I think Suretsky just kind of ran into him in the neutral zone, Jody.
Was that one of those defensive cross-checks where you don't want to get hit, so you bring your stick up?
I think he was just sending a message, but unfortunately for Evansville, he sent the message right in front of the referee, and that's, you know how it works. It's always that one that when you're the retaliatory guy, that's the guy that always gets a 2-minute penalty, not the first guy.
Well, this is the 3rd power play opportunity tonight for Birmingham, and if memory serves me correctly, we've had 3 shots on goal in the first 2 power plays.
That's correct.
So you got to get more pucks to the net. You just have to. And you got to go crash that net and look for a gift in the form of a rebound or a giveaway. Pereira backhands a pass over for Ledzianko, near side. Walker has it. Back to Kip, down low. Takes the shot, blocked by Clark. Clark has the puck. He'll try and clear, gets it over for Abbott, and he does clear down the ice.
Yeah.
Nice defensive effort there by Evansville.
Good job there by Evansville, Jody. And if I'm the Bulls on the 2nd power play, I'm just sending Britton out there to stand in front of the net.
Well, it wouldn't help or wouldn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. Puck played by Birmingham along the near boards. Pereira pinching in, tries to keep it alive. It gets to Walker. Walker. His pass broken up. Birmingham has it. Kip Ledzianko with it. Far face-off circle. Plays it down low to Walker. Back for Pereira. We're down to 1:10 of power play time remaining for Birmingham. Near side, Sinclair. Sinclair with a one-timer from Kip Ledzianko. Save made and rebound cleared by Evansville. New power play unit coming out for Birmingham.
You see how tight those 4 defenders are out there for Evansville on top of that crease right between the hash marks, Jody. If there's a rebound off Stead, Evansville's all over it.
Tipped into the Evansville zone by Pizzamenti, and Christian Stead himself clears the puck down the ice. Not much you can say at this point except Evansville is dictating how this game is being played. Scahill keeps it alive for Birmingham, far side. Scahill with it. Matt Wood back to Scahill. Takes the shot, never made it through. Wood off the boards has the rebound for Scahill. We're down to 20 seconds of power play time remaining. There's a glove save made that would have been wide of the net anyway off the stick of Gronick, but this is going to sound bad. I'm glad to see the shot.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of pucks directed towards Christian Stead way. And if those attempts are there, they're usually being blocked by the Evansville defense. But on that time, Gronick at least tried to nail that top portion of the net.
Well, and even going back to Evansville's 2nd goal, Jody, it wasn't a spectacular setup. It was just a quick wrister that got tipped in front. So, you know, take a page out of that book.
Yeah.
Get some shots on goal.
Youngworth off the draw has it. We're down to 10 seconds of power play time remaining. Back for Gagnon, near side Gronick. Thought about it. In front, looking for a deflection. It gets past everyone. Now Gagnon with a shot. That one goes high and wide. Penalty over. Back at full and even strength is Evansville. Youngworth plays it for Gronick. Down low for Wood. Small lineup on the ice right now for Birmingham. Now Birmingham's Gagnon couldn't keep it in, and Birmingham has to retreat. Youngworth takes a hit there. Loose at center ice, past everyone, back into the Evansville zone, played by McPhee. Behind his own net, McPhee. Caron was on him. Evansville easily clears. We're down to 1 minute to go here in this second period as Evan Miller brings it in. Checked by Gagnon. Puck along the far boards, still loose. Gagnon will send it near side for Caron. Haven't called his name a lot tonight. Philippe Caron sends it in deep. Soft bounce off the boards. Berkapek takes a hit by Britton. Loose puck picked up by the Bulls. Caron. He loses possession, and Stewart has it for Evansville. Nice pass over for Miller. Miller taken down by Caron, and that's going to be a penalty on the Bulls. Miller's going to be slow to get up, but there's no doubt he took him down. Wow. I don't know if they're going to call tripping or hooking, but take your choice.
Yeah, you can go with the bear hug DDT there, Jody, because that's he just wrapped his arms around him, pulled him off, and you know, you can't take that penalty, especially in your defensive zone with the puck being so far away towards the wall
with 30 seconds left in the period.
Right, because that's going to carry over, and now you're going to come into the third period where you got to mount a comeback. And, well, let's take this one step at a time. You got to get through 26 seconds here. Holding, yep.
Holding is the call. Either way, it's a power play for Evansville. Nobody scored on the power play tonight. This will be Evansville's second attempt of the evening. Hobbs out with Stewart. Tyson Gilmore, Matt Clark, Scotty Curtin, Keenan Stewart. Power or penalty kill unit for Birmingham has Gagnon. Out with Scahill, McGregor Sinclair, and Kip Ledzianko. I'd love to know what Kip Ledzianko's ice time is tonight. Off the draw, Evansville has it. Kip Ledzianko taken down, no call. Or he was gone all along. Evansville with the puck now. Clark with 15 seconds to go. That one maybe as a missed call. Clark, far boards for Gilmore, taken away by Kip Ledzianko. Loose far face-off circle. McGregor Sinclair with it. He'll send it around near side, and that'll do it for the second period. As Gagnon hit into the boards by Stewart. Now Scahill comes in, as well as Gilmore. I believe cooler heads will prevail here, but Greg, that's the first call I've seen tonight that really was missed.
It was, Jody, and the referee was in bad position. He was caught behind the play. He was skating hard to catch up. But
do you think he thought Kip was kind of embellishing somewhat?
Well, maybe, but he wasn't embellishing. But nonetheless, the way that stick got up on him when he started to skate away, Jody, kind of got up around his visor. I don't even care about the missed call. I'm just glad that stick didn't catch him in the face. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then he would have been out because we can't afford to lose another Ledzianko.
It's really telling tonight not having Danny Waite and Doug Scott in this lineup. You can tell a big difference offensively. Really big difference offensively just based on Danny Waite's smarts, his ability to shoot the puck.
Well, Scott's
his power play unit time, his PK unit time, and then you throw Doug Scott on top of that, which, like I said to begin with, he's the quarterback of this Bulls power play. Not having two guys out of the lineup like that has made a huge difference in the production of the Bulls.
Right, and I know it's not very often that you talk about the offensive attributes of a defenseman, right? But Scott's one of those guys, Jody. He can jump up. He's not afraid to carry the puck in across the blue line, make things happen. But nonetheless, like you said, the Bulls are without that in their lineup. And despite having 17 shots, which they have got 17 shots, but they just haven't had the quality opportunities, Jody, they're just not converting. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure those shots on goal are correct, Greg.
Oh, they're close.
I mean, 13, all they're showing is 13 shots on goal for Evansville. If anything, I thought it would be kind of the other way around.
Well, it feels like that, but keep in mind, the Bulls also had 6 minutes of power play time there, Jody.
Yeah.
You know, but
can you think of any time during those three power plays where there was an actual scoring opportunity?
No, it's a lot of dump shots and
a lot of perimeter play.
You know what I mean? Some perimeter shots and, you know, Stead's seeing the puck, but you're not getting those scrambly, like kind of like when the Bulls had that first goal taken away from them. You know what I mean? That's what you want to do, and come in and have those opportunities where you get guys in front, you're out sticking them, you're battling, and make Stead look for it and search.
Just got a message from Tommy, who's watching the game from Florida with his mom. He'll be here tomorrow night. He did say he missed 1 or 2 games when his maternal grandmother passed away, but he also wanted to let us know, I didn't know this, Kenny Britton scored 1 goal when he played for Evansville. And how he remembers this, I don't know. But it was a power play goal in Birmingham when he scored, and he was right in front of the net. So Tommy knows his stuff. He's got a photographic memory.
There you go.
Like, too. Okay.
So Tommy and I are on, well, you know, we're meshing
You
on
do
that
too.
wavelength,
You know, I've noticed
Jody.
that about you. The other night when I told Tommy that I don't think Birmingham's had 2 goalies fight since the WHA days when John Garrett was in net for Birmingham, you immediately said, no, I did against Chucky Thuss in Mobile. And the weird thing about that is I was working for Mobile that night.
Yeah, you were.
And I remember calling Dennis DeRozier, who is head coach and director of hockey operations for Birmingham. He knew that you were coming in. And when he did, he had another goaltender. He had an extra goalie.
Yep.
It's the only time in my entire career that I made a trade, but I convinced our coach at that time, who is, it was a former New York Ranger. Trying to remember his last name was Eddie. Come on, help me out. I can't believe I've forgotten his name. Used to coach the Johnstown Chiefs too. Either way, I convinced him that we needed a goalie and we could give up 1 player to do it. And I knew the player we were going to give up, Patrice Paquin, was big, but that's all he was big.
Right.
And Dennis DeRozier told me the next year when I came back to Birmingham to work for him that I fleeced him on that deal, giving away Chucky Thuss for Patrice Paquin.
Right.
But
well,
you did fight him in that night in Mobile.
But I thought that too, Jody, because Chuck Thuss was a good goaltender, and Chucky and I, we go all the way back to minor hockey.
Great guy too.
He played in a little town in Canada called Forest. And so I always saw Chuck growing up. We'd always see each other in the playoffs and that kind of stuff. So, but then I think he went to somewhere in the States. He went to college. I went to the OHL. And then our paths crossed back again in Birmingham. So I knew him very well when he was in Birmingham, and I was kind of surprised a little bit when Z called me and said, hey, man, you know, we're in 5th place. We need a goaltender. And I was like, all right, well, let me wrap up my stuff here in Halifax. And
I remember that when I was told you agreed to come down to Birmingham to play them, but only if you could finish your education and get an internship as well. Do you remember, how did you put that to, of all people, Dennis DeRozier? I'll come and play for you, but only if. Because I know what kind of a coach Dennis DeRozier was. He didn't like that. I know he didn't.
Jody, I didn't talk to Rosie. It was all Mike Zaruna, and he called me, and he asked me, he said, what are you doing? And I said, hey, I just turned in my gear to the rec center, and I'm going to do an internship somewhere in the States. He said, why don't you come do it in Birmingham? And I said, well, call me back and let me know where you can find me an internship. And he called me back 20 minutes later and said, I can get you in Baptist Medical Center Montclair on the psych unit, or I can get you a gig at Health South. And I said, give me the psych unit at Montclair. I'm loading up my car tomorrow and I'll be on my way. I'll be there in 30 hours. And I was. And, you know, I didn't even talk to Rosie for probably the first couple weeks while he was trying to figure out what to do and who I was. And I remember Z told me, he goes, when you first came in, granted, after a 30-hour drive, Jody, you know, my skates were probably draped across the cement, and Pac-Man didn't have it. And I stepped on the ice for the first practice. I could just see Rosie, like, shaking his head, looking at Z, like, what are you doing bringing this guy in, period? And he iced me for about 2 weeks, and then we kept losing. We're going in to play Mississippi, and they were in first place. And he looked at me, he said, well, kid, you ready to earn your paycheck tonight? And I said, yeah, I'm ready to go. And after that, Jody, we beat Mississippi 3-2 in a shootout. And it was 11 games in a row after that.
I remember the head coach in Mobile at the time I had to convince to bring Chuck Tuss in. Tough guy out of the New York Ranger organization, Eddie Johnstone.
Yep.
And it's weird, I'm kind of strange about my hockey videos. I love the old 80s videos when hockey was a different game then. I saw him fighting the entire Boston Bruins hockey team. He was absolutely crazy. But I remember this about Eddie Johnstone. Myself, Steve Chapman, who was the general manager of Mobile at the time, and Eddie, after practice one day, decided we'd go have a fireside chat, we called them, at the local tiki bar. Eddie had one or two too many. And, of course, there's always...
Did you say tiki bar?
Yeah, tiki, T-I-K-I.
Oh, okay,
Come on here.
okay.
T-I-K-I.
I'm just making sure
This was in Mobile. It was on the water there in Mobile.
I got you, okay.
And, you know, Eddie had two or three too many, and there's always somebody else at the bar that's had just as many too many as you have. And they all have to compare things. They all have to talk about how tough they are. I'll never forget it. Eddie Johnstone tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, watch this. And he held up his fist, just like I'm doing now, just holding his fist up, thumb towards his own face. Greg, I kid you not, it looked like his fist was a foot wide. And the other guy saw that, and he basically just tipped his hat to him. He knew what he was saying.
Yep.
And we had no problems the rest of the night there. But I will say this, that's the only time I ever went out to a bar with Eddie Johnstone in my life.
Right.
I wasn't stupid.
Well, it's one of those things, Jody, where, you know, you keep beating enough meat with your fists, and they're going to get bigger and wider, because he was a tough boy, and he punched a lot of guys in the face.
How many comments are we going to get tonight based on that statement?
Jody, you took it there. That was not my intention.
Oh, boy. Why don't we take a break before we get into any more trouble than you just got us in? We've got about 10 minutes to go for the start of the third period. For some reason, once again, Birmingham having trouble on their own home ice, trailing Evansville by a score of 2-0. A minute 34 is what's remaining on the clock to the penalty to Philippe Caron. So unless something happens, another penalty is called or a goal is scored, Evansville will be on the power play for another minute 34 into the first part of the third period.
And I take it you haven't seen Rocky Balboa.
After the last couple of comments you made, I can't even think straight right now.
Jody, where he's in the meat locker and he's pounding
Okay,
the
that's
side
now-
of the ribs. Like,
okay.
Come on.
10 minutes to go here, now 9 minutes to go before we start the third period. We'll take a very, very much needed break. 2-0 to score Evansville over Birmingham at the end of 2. Stay with us. This is Birmingham Bulls hockey.
Welcome back, hockey fans. And around the SPHL in your second period updates, Quad City, now it's final 5-2 over Roanoke. So Quad City, that will put them up 2 points on the night to give them 39 on the year, and that will put them tied for 4th place with Roanoke. Macon with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the 3rd period. They've come back in Knoxville, and they're currently up 2-1 here in Pelham. Evansville 2-0 over Birmingham. Waiting here with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the intermission. Then we'll get back to live action. Peoria and Huntsville, they're knotted up at 1 with 2:46 to go in the 2nd period. And Pensacola on the comeback exploded. Let me pull this one up here. 6-4 at the end of the 2nd period. Wow. So Pensacola, because they were down 3-1 after the first, and then they exploded for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals in the 2nd period, and they currently lead Fayetteville 6-4. The only other game of the night, that is the final game of the night. Pensacola at the end of 2, 6, Fayetteville 4. Here in Birmingham, Bulls in Evansville, 17 shots on goal so far for the Bulls, 13 for Evansville, and the Bulls had 3 power plays in the 2nd period. Evansville had 1 and then a shortened one with 30-some seconds left in the 2nd period. So the Bulls will come out here in the 3rd looking to ramp something up and make a comeback here on Evansville, as things definitely got tighter in the standings, watching and seeing what the other teams are doing. Making 1 minute to go, still up 2-1 on Knoxville. So we'll keep an eye on that here as we got the teams come back out on the ice. They're getting a little skate in here with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the intermission. 40 seconds left in the Macon-Knoxville game. Macon still holding on to that lead 2-1. Very important game there, keeping our eye on that one as the Bulls look to maintain 8th place and that final playoff spot. It's like a stoppage of play here with 35 seconds left.
Well, what do you think's going on the rest of the game here, Greg? I just got through talking to Kip Ledzianko's girlfriend and future mother-in-law. And you know how it can be sometimes. They get a little emotionally involved.
Yep.
But for the final 20 minutes here, what do you foresee happening one way or another?
Well, Jody, Evansville definitely came to play, and I know they've been on a losing streak in their last 3 and everything like that, but there's so much parity in the league, and we're seeing it all over the place where first place 10th, and I mean, it's a hockey game, you know what I mean? Those days of the teams not being in the playoffs, and whoever's in 10th, they come out, and that's an easy game for a team to just come out, hang around, and do the basics and walk out of a rink with 2 points. Those days are behind us, at least for 2025, 26. But the Bulls are going to have to pull something together here and do something different, because Evansville definitely has them figured out so far after the first 40 minutes.
I still don't know that I trust that 17 shots on goal for Birmingham. Seems like it's a lot less than that. But I do believe we're going to have to start taking some more offensive chances, because right now Evansville don't have to do anything. They got a 2-goal lead, and as long as they don't make mistakes, well, you got to try and figure out your offensive way there. Now Birmingham starts on the penalty kill here in this 3rd period with only 1 shorthanded goal. Well, excuse me, 2 shorthanded goals on the year. Be nice to pick up a 3rd right here as we're back underway. Matt Clark with the puck, navigates his way to the blue line, drops it back for Scotty Curtin, far side for Stewart. Gilmore turns his back on Kip, sends it in deep. Hobbs looking for a centering pass. Nothing was there. The shooting lanes were taken up as well as the passing lane, so they'll drop it behind goaltender Hayden Stewart. Gagnon, lucky didn't get a call there. Down on the play was Curtin. Evansville has possession. It hit the referee, puck did. It's loose, picked up by Sinclair, gives it to Gagnon, who fires one down the ice. 45 seconds of power play time remaining for Evansville. Thunderbolts with the puck in their own zone. They'll skate it out to center ice. Tate with the puck. He had it bounce off his stick. Birmingham takes it away, and Walker sends it right back in. 30 more seconds of power play time remaining. Then we'll back to full and even strength. We'll see what the Bulls can do. Berkopek. His pass hit by Walker. They'll still manage to bring it into the Bulls zone. Bartuccio Pereira. For Scahill, it gets past Berkopek far side. Soretsky tried to take it away from him. Taken back by Evansville and comes right in on Christian Stead, who leaves it for Miller. 3 seconds of power play time remaining. Evansville with the puck. Birmingham's killed the penalty and they're back at full strength. Miles Abbott sends one around the boards, near side, picked up by Sadowski. He'll give it to Scahill. Surveys the ice, tried to get it up for Soretsky. Taken away from him and sent back into the Bull zone. Now Wood had it bounce off his stick, but it came right to Philippe Caron. 3 men back for Evansville.
Right.
He'll send it in deep behind the net. Caron fighting for it. Couldn't maintain possession. Picked up near side. Loose now. Evansville will clear. Sadowski has it. He'll fire it right back in. Just underway here in the third period. Evansville still up 2-0 on the Birmingham Bulls. Chapman with the puck. Poked away from him. Gronick backhands one in for Birmingham. Puck played along the far boards. Isaac Chapman has it. He just sends one in near side. Contessa going in after it. Gagnon catches up with the puck first. Laxonen on him. Loose at the Bulls' blue line. Played out. Evansville will change lines as Birmingham has it behind their own net. That's Cole Youngworth. Sinclair out there with him. He gives it to Gagnon. Now for Sinclair. McGregor moves around Semino. There's a shot by Ledzianko. Blocker save made by Stead. Loose puck near boards. Hobbs will clear it. Semino backhands one in deep. Youngworth banks one off the boards for Kip. And Ledzianko gets it ahead for Sinclair, who has it. One man back. Centering pass looking for Wood. Broken up. Puck loose near far side. Played by Evansville and back into the Bull zone. Semino with the puck. Slow roller in behind the goal line. Now Evansville changing lines. 16 and a half to go, third period. Bulls looking for that first goal, trailing 2-0. Berkopek has the loose puck up. He'll come the other way. Joey ahead for Miller. Taps one into the Bull zone, played by Scahill. He drops it off for Pereira. Bartuccio Pereira in his first game as a Birmingham Bull sends it out. Thiessen with the puck. He had it, he lost the puck, gets it right back. Max Thiessen. Sends one around the net, played by Scahill. Scotty Curtin had a chance at it. He lost it. Now it's tied up along the near boards, or far boards, played there by Miller. Scahill on him. Puck comes to Walker. Walker drops it back for Soretsky, and he'll backhand one in. He'll come off the ice. Line change for the Bulls. Miller with the puck.
Yeah, you can see Evansville here, Jody.
They're just slowing the game down completely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that wasn't Miller. That's Wernley with the puck. Gets it ahead, and Evansville will skate away. Laxonen sends it in. Birmingham intercepts that pass, and they'll try and come the other way with it. Caron had a chance at it. He lost it. Evansville tips it back into the Bull zone. Going in after it now, Tracy along with Miles Abbott. Puck loose along the far boards. Caron has it. Gets it ahead to Britton. Nice pass over for Tracy. He'll bring it in the Evansville zone. Tracy with a shot. That was deflected by Vanderveen, goes wide. Lex Onen, he'll stop the puck and leaves it for his defensive partner, who takes a big hit on Gronick and gets him down. Will Vanderveen's sheer size alone is just causing a lot of these collisions to go in favor of Evansville's way.
Gronick just ran into a wall.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It really did. Now Evansville's Semino, another big body, backhands one in. Tracy there. He'll send it around far boards for Sinclair, who chips it out. Birmingham doing a good job, Greg, of taking the puck in their own zone, chipping it off the glass of the boards, but the problem is that's as far as they can go with it. Puck played back into the Bull zone. Stewart stops it, leaves it for Tracy. 14 minutes to go, third period, still 2-0 Evansville. Now Glover tips one in. It goes behind the goal line, played by Thiessen. Ahead for Chapman. Chapman gets it ahead for Gilmore. Poke checked away from him, and Birmingham once again clears it back into center ice. Nobody but Evansville. Wernley with the puck. Curtin tips it in, stopped by Hayden Stewart. Played by Gagnon through center ice. Pass over for Soretsky. Behind the net for Walker, back to Soretsky. C.J. Walker with the puck, he's hit by Wernley. Loose puck kept alive by Birmingham's Cole Youngworth, but he couldn't get the puck in deep. Now it's loose, played by Soretsky, down beneath the goal line. McPhee has it for Evansville, takes the hit from Walker. Gagnon picks the loose puck up, cuts behind the Evansville net, turns and fires. That's blocked by the Evansville defense, and it gets all the way back into center ice. Brought into the Evansville zone, Zimmer. Zimmer brings it in, takes a shot, save made. Losing his mask was Christian Stead. The whistle blows. Zimmer made a nice move, and I believe he fooled Christian Stead on it, but Stead makes the save and keeps it out. Now, I don't know why, but it looks to be as they're upset with Zimmer because Stead lost his helmet. Did Zimmer run into Stead, or is it just...
I don't think so, because Zimmer made the play and kept going by. I want to say it was Evansville. There was secondary guys like the Evansville D and whoever the trailer was for the Bulls coming in that ran into Stead. But nonetheless, it all happened so quick down there. Good news is Stead's okay. He's got his mask back on.
I thought he just lost his mask because he went down quickly.
Right, and pulled his head back and the mask flipped off. But yeah, I did not see... There wasn't anything intentional. It's not like Zimmer came in straight across the goal line looking to go through the paint and ran into Stead. So
12:46 to go, third period. Birmingham is going to have to start taking some offensive chances because they're just not generating the quality chances that you need at this point.
And Jeff Bass knows what he's doing, Jody.
Sure he does.
He's a good coach, been doing it a long time, and you can see the Bulls. Anytime they do get any solid transition out of their zone into the neutral zone, they look up, and you always see at least 3 Evansville players, 1 forward back as a defender. But you know what I mean? You don't have any open skating room against these guys. They do a very good job.
They don't leave anything undone, that's for sure. They're buttoned up. Off the draw, Evansville controls. Vanderveen gets it ahead to center ice, where it's played by Stewart, and he'll tap it into the Bull zone. Pereira, first player back. Off the near side for Zimmer. Zimmer gets it ahead to Caron, poked away from him by Vanderveen, and it's turned right back into the Bull zone quickly by Evansville. Scahill ahead to Zimmer, along the near boards. Cross ice pass to no one, picked up by Clark, and he'll fire it right back in. Now Zimmer backhands one again, Greg. Just into center ice to no one there. I don't know if they're waiting for an Evansville mistake, but I don't think it's going to come. Berkepak with the puck in the Bull zone. Big hit there. His elbows get up. Matt Hobbs delivering not one but twice. Wood takes the last hit.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, Jody, where you can definitely see the difference of the exits out of their defensive zones.
Getting very frustrating, Greg.
Well, the Bulls, they're throwing the puck up and just, you know, right to the Evansville defenders, where Evansville, when they exit their zone, they're going tape to tape. They got a guy slashing across, changing lanes in the neutral zone, and they get a clean exit and send it deep.
Off the draw, Birmingham has it. Kip Ledzianko brings it in. Sadowski may have been ahead of the play. Gets it to Wood, takes the shot, stick save made by Stead. Rebound goes to the far boards. Evansville tried to get it out. Kip Ledzianko with a hand pass keeps it in. So the whistle blows and the faceoff will come outside of the Evansville blue line. We understand, at least from one listener, that we may be having a problem with our audio feed off of YouTube. I don't see any other messages about the same thing. So, and there are ways we can adjust the levels on some things, but remember, YouTube and Hockey TV are trying to use the same feed. Where it works on one, it may not work so well on the other. But let us know if it's any better if you're listening to YouTube audio only. Off the draw, Tracy brings it in. He takes a hit from McPhee. Coughs the puck up, sent around far side. Sadowski keeps it alive for Kip Ledzianko. Turns and spins. Laxonen blocks that shot. Played around the near boards. Tracy with it. He's hit on the play by Tate. Along the near side, Ledzianko keeps it in, fires a shot. Just get past Christian Stead. Ledzianko from the point takes a shot, knocked down in front by McPhee. Tracy takes Laxonen out, but Evansville clears. Look out, coming the other way. Here comes Miller, shot, he scores. Loose puck found the stick of Evan Miller just outside of the Birmingham blue line. Nobody back defensively, and he didn't make a mistake on that one. He fired it near side, up high, and Evansville takes a 3-0 lead.
Well, that's what I mean about being able to finish, Jody. And the Bulls have had some quality opportunities, but double clutching, they just can't get those shots off clean. And Miller just showed you right there exactly how it's done. Evansville 3, Bulls no score.
Fourth goal of the year for Miller. And about all you can say right now is the crowd is already, Greg, starting to leave the building. Birmingham needs to fire the kitchen sink at Christian Stead and see if this works. Because nothing else at this point has for the Bulls. Gagnon sends one in, stick save made by Stead. That shot came from outside the zone, the center ice stripe. Evansville cleared the zone. Now you're going to see Evansville really pack it in tight defensively. They know Birmingham's having trouble getting shots off. They know they're up by 3. There's no reason to take any chances if you're Evansville. Scotty Curtin takes the puck away, sends one through the slot. Glover backhands one into center ice where Thiessen plays it. Jordan Gagnon, far side Soretsky. Played behind the net, Thiessen, near side Berkopek has the puck. Little extra step in the skates of Evansville. They'll bring it into the Bull zone without any issue. There's a shot taken far side by by Semino, goes wide. Puck bounces all the way through the slot. No one was really there to expect it, and Birmingham finds a way to clear. Out of the reach of Zimmer. Hobbs plays it near side for Berkopek. Gets past Pizzamenti, but the puck finds its way on the stick of Pereira. He loses it. Back comes Stewart. Stewart takes the shot wide of the net. Off the stick of Wood. They just can't not seem to even control passes at this point, Greg. Played by Evansville out. Here comes Contessa. Derek Contessa takes the shot. Hugging the post was Stewart. Didn't let that anywhere near him. Stick save made. Rebound comes along near side. Scotty Curtin or Miles Abbott was there. Couldn't keep it in. Evansville has it now in their own zone. McPhee takes the hit from Wood, who has the puck. Wood comes in, takes the shot off the side of the net. Tried a centering pass for Soretsky, knocked away from him. Look out. Contessa had a shot at it as Gagnon lost a little bit of his edge. Now back the other way. Here comes Evansville. Laxonen with a shot. Save made by Stewart. Rebound for Scotty Curtin. Centering pass off the mark. Picked up by the Bulls, Soretsky. He'll circle back in his own zone. Gives it up near side for Youngworth. Scahill has it. Tried to hook up with Walker. Knocked down by Evansville, and Scotty Curtin will bring it in. Under 9 minutes to go. In fact, 8.5 to go, third period. Evansville 3, Birmingham nothing. Matt Clark with the puck. He'll send it around the boards. Tried to get it to Curtin. Scahill kind of deflected that away, but it comes free to Gilmore. Takes a shot, save. Rebound right there for Curtin. And a nice save by Stewart. keeps the puck out of the net, and at least for the moment, keeps Evansville back off the scoreboard. 8:09 to go here in the third period. Evansville cruising at this point to a 3-0 lead.
Right, you can see on that last play, Jody, even that perimeter shot that Evansville got, it's a lot harder for Stewie because you've got that guy right in front of him. And he's not just in front of him, he skates through Hayden Stewart's line of vision as that puck's coming in, opens up on his forehand so that if there is a rebound, like you just saw, Evansville is right there on top of Stewart, and Stewart had to make 2 big saves back to back, or we'd be sitting here looking at a 4-0 game.
To have our next to last media timeout of the period. I'll say it again, Birmingham does much better on the road than they do at home. Right now, they're in danger of losing their 9th home game of the year. Actually, when you consider the shootout losses, Birmingham came into this game with 5 wins at home, 8 losses, and 3 shootout losses. We need some more home wins, Greg.
Definitely, Jerry. That's something that you got to figure out. And, you know, I know back in the day we went on a 17-game road trip, and we housed at a Cincinnati up there, and we won a lot of hockey games on the road. But you got to win your games at home, and that's one thing that, you know, remains to be the unsaid mystery right now in Birmingham.
Vanderveen takes a shot, almost snuck past Hayden Stewart. Somehow finds its way out of the net, and Karan sends one deep into the near corner. Semino with it. He takes the hit from Karan, but Evansville clears his own easily. Sadowski tried to put it in deep, bounces off a Thunderbolts player and sent back in by Karan. Will Vanderveen, I've been impressed with the way he uses his side, gets it out. Birmingham Sadowski takes it away. Kevin Sadowski sends one in, stopped by Stead. At this point, he's just thinking about preserving the shutout. Loose puck at center ice. Kepledzianko had it, lost it. Scahill comes away with the puck for Wood. Look out, that puck came right in on Stead with Kepledzianko cruising, bounced up in the air, and he gloves it and squeezes it, so a face-off in the Evansville zone. It's got to start to be a little bit frustrating, too, for Kepledzianko. There's no doubt he's the most talented player on the ice, offensively, that is, for Birmingham. Drake Glover understanding as well, but he's trying his best. He just can't seem to get anything going.
Well, it's like even...
And it's not his fault.
Even Glover and Walker, Jody, I mean, they're working hard out there tonight. I've really noticed them a couple times in on the forecheck, playing very well defensively. But it's like Evansville, they just stack up everybody in front of you.
If they get the lead, look out.
Yeah.
And they're tough to play against when they have a lead. Off the draw, Birmingham has it. Kepledzianko's shot blocked by the defense. Comes right back to Kip. He turns and fires looking for a deflection. Went behind the net. Evansville has it. Berkopek plays it for Thiessen. Ahead for Scotty Curtin. Birmingham will turn it right back in. Berkopek drops it near side for Thiessen, off the boards for Miller. Glover had Gilmore lined up. Gilmore sidesteps to check, but Evansville still has the puck. Miller. Thiessen ahead to Scott Curtin. And they'll send one in deep. Evansville's going to have short line changes the rest of the way. 6.5 to go, third period. Birmingham still has not scored in this hockey game. Glover. That's Soreski. Gagnon with a shot, stick save made by Stead. Loose puck around the far boards. Birmingham pinching in to keep it alive. Miller takes the puck for Evansville, and here we go the other way. Wernley, that is. Youngworth has it off the boards for Walker. Backhands a pass over for Gagnon ahead to Pizzamenti. Loose puck through center ice, played by Gagnon. Gagnon hit on the play by Hobbs not once but twice, skates away. Puck played along the near boards in front of the Evansville bench. Contessa drops it off for Chapman, who sends it into the Bull zone. Loose there, picked up by Birmingham. Zimmer taps one in. We're down to 5.5 to go. Matt Clark with the puck, lined up by Zimmer. Evansville still with the puck. Laxonen banks one off the glass into center ice. Tate takes the puck away. Tate takes the shot high and wide of the net. Rebound comes all the way back to the blue line for Gronick. Gives it to Zimmer for Pizzamenti, and he'll send it in deep. Through center ice now. Clark brings it. Down on the play is Abbott. He ran into his own man. There's Tate with a chance. He lost possession. Birmingham has it now. Sadowski skates away. Wood along with him. Gets past Vanderveen. Sadowski lost it as Kip Ladzianko had it. Now look out, the whistle blows. Semino was in all alone. We're going to have a cross-checking penalty, I believe, is going to be on Soretsky. He's talking with the referee right now about it, Jeff Tomasak, but the door is open. 4:46 to go here in the third period, and Birmingham just cannot seem to get anything going at all. Are they going to call this on Evansville? Vanderveen? The whistle blew when Birmingham had possession of the puck. That's why I assumed.
Well, technically no, because they blew the puck dead because Semino was technically gone on a breakaway.
Okay.
So.
But Vanderveen is in the penalty box, or heading towards it now. If this is the case, Birmingham will be on their fourth power play of the night, and of course they're 0 for 3 thus far. I still have a problem with the shots on goal, but you know, that's just the way it is. 21 shots on goal for Birmingham, 18 for Evansville, and it seems like it should be 35 for Evansville and 16 for Birmingham.
Well, Evansville is just getting higher grade chances, Jody, and you know, they've misfired on some stuff and things like that, but the bottom line, this game was won in the trenches because, you know, yeah, there's still a chance with 4 minutes and 46 seconds left, but anytime there was a loose puck down low, behind the goal line, on the boards, any one-on-one battles, Evansville 95% of the time tonight came out with the puck, and that's really the story of this game.
How much does size factor into that?
Oh, a lot. Because that is one thing Evansville does well with their size is they protect the puck and they don't panic. And how many times did we see pucks in skates and, you know, it's just not tape to tape.
Off the draw, Birmingham on the power play has it. Pereira for Sinclair, back to Pereira. Plays the puck, gives it to Sinclair. Down low, Walker. Perimeter play, back at the point for Pereira. Gives it to Sinclair. Down low. Shot by Walker. Save is made. Rebound lay loose. Cleared to the boards by Hobbs. The whistle blows.
Yeah.
I don't know why the whistle blew. The net is still on its moorings unless they're going to call another penalty.
Well, I think that Ested came across and there was some interference there with his defender, and I believe it was Walker down there on the net was bobbling around and it hopped up off the ice, but you know, they have those big rubber moorings and it didn't come off, but it did come up, so that's probably what's going on here.
A minute 38 to go on this power play, 4:24 in the game. Glover on the draw for Birmingham, gets it, wins it back to Pereira. Sinclair with it. Cross ice feed for Kip Ladzianko, went behind him. Kip will play it down low for Walker. McPhee on him. Walker goes down, backhands a pass out for Pereira.
Look out.
Contessa taps it away. Birmingham with the puck now. Pereira with it. Someone's lost a glove that's lying on this. I thought for a minute it was a helmet. Sinclair with the puck. Far boards. He'll skate through center ice slowly but surely. Walker with it ahead for Sinclair. Backhand save. Rebound loose. Picked up by the Bulls. Glover's shot goes wide and then bounces right off the boards into the mitt of Christian Stead, and he holds on. Glover doubled over in just sheer aggravation. Is that a bit frustration?
I think so, frustration. But you can see Jody Stead has settled in definitely, and those are two great saves right there at the end. You know, and that's just something. When you're snake bit at home like we are, we just aren't getting those.
Got to get that done, settled up, just out of your head. I will say this. Earlier in the year, Evansville was on an 8-game winning streak, won 8 in a row. Of those 8 games, 7 of them, Christian Stead gave up 1 or less goals in. When he's on, it's tough to beat this hockey team. Off the draw, Wood has it, near face-off circle. Plays it down low for Soretsky, back to Wood, almost got away from him. Near side, Wood. Nowhere to go with it. Plays it for Soretsky in front. Score! And if I'm not mistaken, that went in off Pizzamenti.
Yep. It hit somebody's shin pad right in front, Jody, but that's what I've been saying all night. Forget about...
Or was it Gronick? Somebody got it.
Forget about looking for these pretty goals that you see in the NHL once in a blue moon. It's you know, you can't play the highlight reel because they all count when they're back of the net, and that was just a greasy goal there for the Bulls.
I need that in the first period.
Yep.
Second period. I'll take it. But now,
right.
You know, it's 3-1 now. That 2-goal lead's going to get even more dangerous. They'll start thinking about it a little bit now. But you're right in front. I thought it was Pizzamenti, but it went in off Gronick.
Yeah.
So Birmingham cuts the lead to 3-1 for Gronick. That's his third goal of the season. Birmingham with the puck in the Evansville zone. Gagnon's shot deflected wide, picked up by Scotty Curtin. Can't get it out. Pizzamenti keeps it alive. Down low under the goal line. Birmingham's Gronick has it. Taken away from him, Curtin and Pizzamenti go into the boards. Puck squirts free along the near side, Zimmer. Behind the net for Gronick, Thiessen on him. Behind the net, Pizzamenti plays it far side where it's picked up by Gilmore. We're under 2:40 to go here in the third period. Birmingham cutting the lead to 3-1, but is it too little, too late? Miller brings it into the Bull zone. He'll curl back. No one was there to help. Miles Abbott tips it ahead. Hooks up with Laxonen, takes a shot wide of the net. Played by Birmingham near side, Gagnon. For Ledzianko, ahead to Matt Wood. Wood with the puck. Poked away from him, loose. Gagnon couldn't keep it alive. Birmingham will have to get back out of the zone. Scahill with it, brings it in to the Evansville zone for Ledzianko. Plays it into the far corner. Now Wood goes down not once,
lost
but
his
twice.
skate blade.
He's going to have a tough time getting to the bench without a blade on his skate. Skating with one leg, holy cow. Birmingham with the puck. Gives it ahead for Scahill. Finally, he makes it to the bench. Birmingham has a man on the ice in his place. Loose puck, Zareski has it knocked away from him. Stewart had a shot at it. Scahill catches up with it first. A minute and a half to go in the third period. Birmingham trying to cut that lead to 3-2, trailing 3-1 at this moment. Semino behind the net. Walker now has it for Birmingham. Birmingham has an extra attacker on the ice. There's a shot taken. Stead makes the save. Now Zareski getting involved in front. Two players tie each other up. I don't know who that is with Zareski, but he didn't like whatever Parker did.
Nothing going to come of that, Jody.
It looks like it was Matt Clark, or maybe it was Matt Hobbs.
Right.
But, no, you're right. Nothing's going to come of it. I've never seen a player like that struggle so much to get off the ice without a blade.
Hey, that was a great effort there by
I was going to
Wood.
say, you really have to put some effort into going off the ice from really 60 feet away, if not more, with just one skate blade. A minute 19 to go here in the third period. Birmingham with an empty net in favor of an extra attacker, trailing 3-1.
And in a 3-1 game, Jody, where you're down in front of their goal and a guy leads with his stick like that and comes and gives you a cross check across the face.
I take it you didn't like that.
Well, I didn't like the response.
Okay, fair enough.
Because if that happens, your glove's got to hit the ice. I don't care who you are, whether you're a goal scorer or not or whatever. But, like, you got to stand up for yourself because these guys are going to be back in here tomorrow night.
Well, if you don't stand up for yourself, they're going to take more and more liberties with you.
Exactly.
And you're right. We have another hockey game to play tomorrow night. And if things continue the way they are tonight for Birmingham, that game tomorrow night becomes almost a must-win situation for Birmingham.
Well, I will say in the last, minute and a half, the Bulls have actually been making it happen, but they're working the game down low and keeping guys tight to the net.
All right, do you think a lot of that has to do with what you just said, or Evansville's backing off saying, all right, they got to score four times to beat us?
The Bulls are doing something here at the end that they've got to bring out and redo start from the beginning tomorrow night.
Bulls net is empty in favor of an extra attacker. Kip Ledzianko with the puck, slides it behind the net for Walker. Walker back out to the point for Pereira. Near side for Sinclair. His shot blocked by Curtin. Soreski has the puck. Tried to give it to Walker. McPhee loses his stick. Birmingham with an extra attacker and one man for Evansville that doesn't have a stick. They'll backhand it out. Clear it down the ice. Played by Birmingham. We're under a minute to go in this hockey game. Kip Ledzianko with the puck. Gives it for C.J. Walker. Glover planted at the Evansville blue line. Walker brings it in. Almost had it poked away from him. Bergapek has it. Now Kip Ledzianko comes in. 30 seconds to go here in the third. Evansville content just to let the clock run. Puck still in that corner. No one can dig it out. Finally, it comes free to Kip Ledzianko. Sinclair hustles over to keep it in for Birmingham. Matt Clark with it, hit by Glover, still tied up. We're down to 10 seconds to go, and I believe this is going to be it, Greg. Puck tied up along the far boards. Puck comes free for Kip Ledzianko for Sinclair, and that'll do it. This one's done. A lot of good effort there for Birmingham, I will say, over the last 5 minutes. But this game was won, if this was a football game, you could say it was won in the trenches.
Right.
And,
well, and I think
a good game plan by Evansville.
I think that last 30 seconds sums it up in a nutshell, Jody, because when Evansville wanted to hold the puck against the wall, Birmingham couldn't get away from it.
Yeah, when they wanted to do it, they did it. So knowing that you're smaller, knowing that you're playing against a tougher team, knowing you're playing against a team that is feeling it right now when they play Birmingham, what do you say to this team in the locker room before a game tomorrow night?
I think when you talk about those one-on-one battles, Jody, that's just something that you just got to tell everybody. You know what? When you get up tomorrow morning, you come to the rink, take a good look in the mirror and ask yourself, how bad do you really want it?
Yep, I agree.
Because I think that's why it was so, I call it whack-a-mole. You know, where the puck's on your stick and you just turn and you just fire it wherever you can, because you don't want to hold on to the puck when you have to make a play. You know,
it's not like we're playing against the 1985 Edmonton Oilers or the 1994 New Jersey Devils. This team Evansville is a team we've beaten and beaten 3 times in a row before tonight. This did not seem like those same teams that Birmingham had that beat Evansville earlier. And I can't, for the life of me, figure out why we played like that on the road in Evansville 3 times in a row and come home. And to be honest with you, it just did not look like it was there at all tonight.
Well, I think whatever it is here at home and locally, Jody, that the team definitely is more focused and driven on the road.
Well,
you know,
I had a chance to talk, as I said a little earlier, tonight with Kip Ledzianko's girlfriend and his future mother-in-law. And I just point out, I asked, how many girlfriends / wives are here with other players from the Bulls? And she told me, I don't even remember the name, it's not important, or the number, I don't remember. But she did say when the players are here in Birmingham, there's a lot going on. That's basically all that was told. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know what she was insinuating, but you and I had this discussion earlier in the game too, that there's so much sometimes that can go on at home, you're distracted away from what you're here to do, and that's play hockey. So
well, and think about this, Jody. I mean, depending on what those numbers are, but I know after talking with Coach Simchuk in the offseason about the living in the apartments and that kind of stuff, if they have 3 guys in a 3-bedroom apartment and you have 3 girlfriends in there or wives or whatever the case may be, that's 6 people in that area.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there.
It's easy to get distracted in life as it is.
100%.
But, there's even players for all teams, not just Birmingham, but for all teams, that have things like a dog or a cat, and there's so many things that can distract you
Right.
from playing hockey, but it seems like it's magnified exponentially when you're at home.
Right.
When you're on the road, you got a roommate and 2 beds, bathroom, and team meals.
And you got a bus trip to clean your head, and you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you're spending time with the boys, and, you know, it could be something to that, Jody. I don't know.
Well, off the air, you know my theory on it, and that's fine. I just know this. We are now 5-9-0-3 at home, and if you want to look at a reason why we're not in the thick of things, home play's got to be there. The numbers don't lie, Greg.
Right.
They just don't lie. Either way, I'm sure Birmingham's going to come out tomorrow night and play much differently, a little more spirited, I'm sure. Maybe a little angry at themselves for the way things went tonight in front of a sellout crowd, but I'm told tomorrow night's going to be the same way. Another sellout crowd tomorrow night is expected. I don't know how many tickets are remaining. At last check, I think there were like 200 or 300 tickets remaining, and
Yep.
that's it.
So get up tomorrow morning, call early if you want to come down. 'Cause it'll
Oh, it's
be
going to be cold tomorrow, too. I don't know if this is true, but I was told by one of the team owners tonight that it's supposed to get down into the single digits tomorrow night in certain areas of Birmingham, and wow, that's cold for me, Greg. I spent 5 years in Canada, and I promise you, I told God, I had a long talk with him one night, if you will let me get back to Alabama, I will never complain about the heat again. A few months later, I was back in Alabama, and I don't complain about the heat, but I still complain about the cold.
Right, 100%. And I spent a lot of time in Sudbury, Jody, and you talk.
That hurts to hear that.
You talk about cold, but it's a different kind of cold. I mean, it's almost like the difference between sticking your head in an ice box or a freezer. You know what I mean? Like, that's cold, but there's no wind.
Well, I was going to ask about that, too.
Yep.
When I was there, here's the way I'll describe the difference between cold in Birmingham versus cold in Toronto, where I live. Up there, the cold will burn you.
Right.
If you're not careful, you literally can feel your skin heating up. It's so cold, it will burn your skin. Here, it's more bone chilling. It gets deep. The
Yep.
chill gets so deep into your body, you can't stop shivering. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way it felt to me.
Well, it's also the difference of we aren't prepared down here like we were
No.
up there, Jody, where, you know, what do you do every year? You get out your skidoo suit and your toboggan and
Then you go on your way.
yeah.
Well, all right, that's enough cold talk. We got to talk about something. Tonight was not one of those nights where you go home and try and dwell on it. You try and get it out of your mind.
Right.
Birmingham missed a good opportunity here, losing tonight at home in front of a sellout crowd, 3-1 to Evansville. They'll get a chance to do something about it tomorrow night as both these teams are back in action. Same time, same place, 7:05 face-off. Tommy of Evansville hopefully will be here tomorrow night. He's going to drive early in the morning, and we'll see.
Be good to see him.
Yep, and I don't know, give him a good handshake, tell him things are going to be okay. But things are okay with his hockey team, that's for sure, at least for tonight. Final score from the Pelham Civic Complex, Evansville 3, Birmingham 1 for Greg Dreven.